All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Three Dudes Walking to a Stormraven. I'm Rick with NoobHammer. We're here with Derek from 40K Dirtbags and Quinn from Warpstorm Gaming. And we are going to do a little hobby night and just chat about Warhammer and video games and whatever else pops up. So feel free to join on in. We have at least 2 streams going right now, so Derek and I might be answering questions from 2 different streams. Quinn might be having to do the exact same thing, but we'll figure it out. It'll be fun either way.
Rick, you gotta turn on your camera in Discord.
Oh, you want to actually see me?
Oh, why wouldn't we?
Okay.
That's on it. Like, I only joined this for 2 reasons: to see you
It's
and
just
to see
to
Derek.
look at me. Aw. Thanks, guys. Well, hopefully my Brio will stop being a dick. It does this on Discord somehow, and the only way to actually fix it is to restart it, which means the stream was just gonna completely go tits up. So if you want to see my face, you might have to turn on the stream. Sorry, guys.
I mean, I'm on the YouTube, but it doesn't, like, to me, it hasn't started.
Really? It says it's on. Are you on this?
I'm staring at a screen that says 3 dudes walking to a Stormraven, and then it says waiting for NoobHammer, March 9th, 2023.
No way. No way. Oh, God, I don't want to. It said we're live on NoobHammer.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just relaying information. Because, like, I can see the chat. Ah, I see. This dude
there
says
it
here,
is.
you know video.
There it is. Yeah, it's here. Okay. I'm going to turn it off so that you don't have to. There it is. Yeah, it's here. Okay. Yeah, turn it off. All right, there. No muted stuff. All right, now we're good. Sorry about that. You just confused the shit out of me, sir.
Oh, you're still spinning on my screen.
Restart it, man. I'm looking at it. Oh, on Discord. I don't think that's gonna fix, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to turn off like Discord. So, all right. This is the kind of fun stuff we get to do when we're working with a new format with 3 total people in it. So anyway, yep, I'm gonna unplug the camera, unplug it back in, but I'm not restarting the old Discord, guys. Sorry.
It'll just be me and Quinn, sexy faces.
Oh yeah.
Hey man, I'm not complaining.
I did make an old fashioned, so
good. I made a mezcal Negroni.
Sounds fancy.
That's good.
I used to drink quite a lot, and then weirdly enough, after we opened up the brew pub and game store the other year, I was like, I probably shouldn't drink as much as I do, because
it's all free now.
I mean, yeah, and it was just like, when I finally figured out that I maybe had something to lose, it made me not want to just put it all in jeopardy.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So now I drink when I'm and I used to have just like I used to be functionally an alcoholic, runs deep in my dad's side of the family, and I was like, I hate going down that hole. So now it's, in order for me to drink, I want to make sure that I'm in like a very clear state of mind, and I'm not using it to suppress something just because I'm happy.
100%.
Well,
and surround yourself with good people.
Yeah, it's good. It is very good to have those boundaries, dude.
Let me tell you how hard it is to go to Vegas with those boundaries, though.
Yeah, well, you're literally everywhere.
Cool. Right.
I mean, what do they say? You're right. Like, it's easy to have morals when they aren't ever tested, right?
True.
All right, Rick, we're good.
Yeah, I see that. Hey guys, there we are. That's right. I am working on 2 Helverins. I'm going to a GT this weekend, and they both have to be painted, and they're not even built yet. So
holy shit.
I'm having a great time. I have to base them as well, and because I need to, I'm bringing my Grey Knights, and so I'm going to paint them as Forge World Demos, which is the Grey Knight Forge World. So I also have to base them like my Grey Knights, which is a whole thing. So I'm going to be busy tomorrow and tonight doing a lot of painting. I'm going to be doing a lot of airbrushing which should speed things up quite a bit. So I don't think
I
it's
tried
too bad.
I tried airbrushing for the first time the other day, and let me tell you, I spent far more time trying to unclog my mistake than actually airbrushing.
There's a learning curve for sure. But man, like once you get that done, like man, I know I don't want to base coat or prime with anything else. Like priming with a brush now is awful.
Oh yeah, I mean 100%. I don't think I'd ever prime with a brush again. But it's normally I hate hobbying, which is ironic for a lot of people that are in this game that we're currently here to talk about. But boy, building is daunting. I just want to buy a thing and play with the thing. I don't want to have to build the thing and paint the thing. But I've started coming around. We got into Middle Earth, and I just I bought and built and painted Treebeard because he was my favorite.
Is there a war game you don't play?
I mean, so
That's a great question.
my first one again was 40K in February of 21, and since then I've got 40K, AOS, Legion, Middle Earth, Steel Rift, Conquest.
I've never heard of half of these, man.
Blood Red Skies, Song of Ice and Fire, all kinds of stuff. Like I'm a huge nerd, so it's whenever I find something I like, I just go super ape shit and I go down the rabbit hole until I'm like,
oh yeah,
phew, okay, well I made it to China. Now let me dig back through in another category.
Yep, my wife would say the same thing about me. I don't have a hobby I don't go all in on. Like, why even have it, right? If you're not gonna go all in on it.
Yeah, right. I mean, I agree.
Well, hey,
I
man.
recently just started liking painting, I guess, because it's buddy's actually taught me how to. Before I would just like kind of guess and throw random paints on models, and it looked like shit. So it always deterred me from painting.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah.
I've discovered I don't like assembly line painting. I want to be able to paint one thing
Man.
like the one way that it should be and then never have to touch it again. But
I'm so different. Like I love assembly line painting. Like I like to have like 20 interceptors up. I prime them. I set them out from like 1 through 20, and then I base coat them all, and then like 1 through 20, I switch paints to like Drakenhof, Nightshade, fire them all from below for a nice, cool blue like shadow, and I do a 1 through 20, and then I switch paints and I go like top down for an awesome highlight, you know, and then I'll do it all with weapons and stuff. I don't know, batch painting, like it's probably my ADD, but like it helps me feel in control.
I mean, I understand that, but it's I don't know. It's when I was painting my Treebeard model, I was having a lot of fun because it was I think one of my favorite things to do now. I think is just dry brush. It's just something about like taking the smallest amount of paint, rubbing off all of that paint, and hoping any of it touches crevices.
Oh man, you have given my buddy who is watching this so much ammunition with all those statements. You got rubbing off. You got. Yeah.
If somebody doesn't make it, the remarks, I'd be upset.
Come on, Tony, where are you at? This is why, dude. Like Sindri, I'm telling you, I don't like. I gotta be honest. I'm in kind of a Warhammer funk lately. There's a lot of stuff like going on with my family right now, and so like me having the emotional like aptitude, like the bandwidth to like schedule games, to like build lists, all that stuff is actually kind of hard. But so I don't know. I also am that guy who I have a million projects at the same time. Like I'm not just gonna paint my Grey Knights this week and my Helverin. Like I want to paint my demons. I want to paint my Deathwatch. I got a whole bunch of D&D minis that I want to paint. I'm printing them way faster than I can paint them. Well, you know, like my campaign right now, my players are in a dwarven bastion city, and so I painted up, or like printed out 20 or 40 different, probably around 30 like dwarven models of various type. I got mages, I got druids, I got shaman, I have fighters, I have bannermen, I have bards. Like I printed them all up, and I'm starting to individually paint them. That's where I've been spending most of my like painting time.
Fucking dedication.
Oh, so Rick, I think I was telling you about the league that I joined with the 100 guys.
Oh yeah.
So I signed up. I'm running Custodes, and that's the last couple games that JP and I played. That's what I was running, and I built a list. Where the hell's my phone? There it is. I built a list the other day that. Feel free to, like, if you guys know Jack. I don't know jack shit about Custodes.
I don't even.
I've played one list
right
like 3 times, but this one I made has a lot of bodies. So we're still just running the Emperor's Chosen. We
Isn't
got
that backwards for Custodes? Like, aren't you supposed to bring the fewest amount of bodies possible? You're like 5 models done.
I mean, yes, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Most of the times I like us. Say what?
Dude, I got a whole Custodes list in less than like a week, just because of how few models you need. Like you get the patrol box, and that's like 3/4 of your army right there.
pretty much.
And then you just need wardens, and then you're good to go.
So this list is rocking the Shield Bite Captain, Trajan, 2 units at 3 Sword and Board, unit of Prosecutors, 2 units at 3 Sagittarum.
What are Prosecutors? I've never heard them.
They're a more different like Sisters of Silence. They're the troops version.
Okay.
2 single model Terminators, so that way you just drop in for behind enemy lines.
Yep.
3 units at 3 Wardens. The Praetor with dense bubble aura, and then 3 Palace Grav attacks.
Yeah, that is the longest Custodes list I've ever heard in my life, because they're so elite and they cost so much. Usually you don't hear anything like that.
Well, it's like I'm super high on the Palace Grav attacks because they're only 95 points for 8 wounds, 5 up in Vuln, not a 4 up, but they still get the Emperor's Chosen 4 up to Mortals in the reroll. They move 16. They hit on 2s. Their strength 5, toughness 6.
I hate all of this.
And then they've got 2 twin, some name I can't pronounce, with an A blaze cannons. There's 2 profiles. There's the beam or the burst. So again, they have 2 of these. 36-inch, heavy 2, 7-4-3. If you're shooting against a vehicle, you can reroll the wound roll.
Just reroll the wound.
The wound roll. And then the second option is 24-inch, heavy 6, 5-1-2. So one of these just gets 4 shots at 7-4-3, or can have 12 shots at 5-2-1, and there's 3 of them, and they move 16.
Fly?
Yeah, they have fly.
Yeah, that tracks. We do have some user comments and questions, so I don't want to leave them behind too far.
Oh,
Sindri, first of all, insults my dwarves, which is obnoxious. Dwarves are the best fantasy race. Suck it. And then asking about Vashtar or Trashtor, as Reddit has immediately started calling him.
That guy does so many things,
but he's so expensive. And like
the thing I don't like about him, I'll give my 2 cents. It's basically he's not wound capped, so he's just gonna get shot off the table, and he's not 9 wounds, so he's just gonna get shot off the table. So if he had like a special rule where he can have a bodyguard, like hey, one model in your army that's a demon engine, you pick that's your bodyguard. Like something like that would be cool because then he can actually get to the lines. But if you put him on the table, literally anybody can kill 14 models or 14 wound model.
Yeah, and I mean, defensively he's a Redemptor without the -1 damage. And like size-wise, he's also a Redemptor. He's huge. His
Yeah.
wingspan is enormous.
Yeah,
So
you're
like
not hiding.
he's gonna be easy to spot and pop. And he doesn't have a lot of, like, like Bellicor, right? Big model, huge lynch point pin of a demon army, actually has defensive stats, right? Like I think he has trans hitman, right? Like
He's like -1 to hit, -1 to wound.
oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
Can't reroll like anything on like he is really hard to take down, and he's fucking like 20-some wounds.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
Bashtor, I don't know, man. It seems, I mean, he fucks up vehicles. Like,
Yeah.
if he gets in on a vehicle, it's done. But I mean, he's got to get there. His command ability stuff, I'm like, hey, that's kind of neat. But then I saw the range is 18 inches. It's like, okay, so you're gonna slow me down, or even if you half my guns, like a Dread Knight, right? Goes from 24 inches to 12. We're assuming we're not in tide conversions for a moment, even though that's never a thing. You just walk up, you're still in range. Like the next turn when you can shoot, you're still in range. It's weird. He's got a lot of weird, I don't know.
So
Wait a minute.
one of my guys says Custodes are so close to Grey Knights when it comes to running elite armies.
Fuck that guy.
No, not even close. That's not.
Quinn doesn't think Grey Knights are elite.
No, I also don't think they're Space Marines either.
No, the fuck it. No, complete opposite. It's like we don't get any Space Marine shit, so you
I know.
can't even call it Space Marines.
No, but everybody's like they're just Space Marines. I'm like, well, fuck, no, we're not.
Well, if we're talking about the lore, like that's a different thing, though, right? Like that I think when folks say that, that's what they normally mean. But like in the rules, you guys are absolutely right. I mean, our chaplains aren't buffable. Our libbies aren't really buffable. I mean, they are, but in a different way, right? But you can't make them, was it like master of the warp or whatever? You can't do that stuff. And like the fact that our chaplains, you can't make a master of sanctity hurts so bad. So you get one litany and it's going off on a 3, which means it's never going off. Because I guarantee you're not rolling a 3 or higher on that litany when you need it. Which means you have to save 2 CP, 2, to use it in the phase that you want it. So if you want like words of power on a 10-man interceptor squad or something, right? I don't know.
Just don't ever take it and you won't be disappointed.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's the unfortunate truth, right? It's like folks ask, hey, what do you think about Grey Knight?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
A Grey Knight Chaplain. It's like, hey man, playing Crusade, go for it. It's very fluffy. If you're
I tried to force that Chaplain so many times because I just wanted to do his buff to just do all the mortals on 6s, and it
words of
never
power
happened. Never happened.
I've only had it go off once. Like there's too many points of failure, right? Like it has to actually be cast. Then you have to go ahead and get off all like the rest of that combo. So the original combo was like run rapiers, right? Then you cast the power for one more attack, and you get in. So then you have to actually get in, and you have to get in with like 10 models, for instance, if you want it to go off real big. Then you have to be in tide of convergence. So that's another cast that has to probably go off. And then when you're finally in, and everything's gone well, like, yeah, you can do 36 damage and 14 mortal wounds. But it's like what?
Not worth.
I've popped a greater brass scorpion from down like 2 wounds to just dead in one fight phase. That's the only time I've had that combo actually pop off. But it took 100 at the time, 110 point chaplain. It took 10 interceptors, which were like 280 points at the time or something. And it took casting the Rapier's Brotherhood power specifically, and then I also used their stratagem. And then it finally went off, and it went off big, but that's the one time I've had that actually pop off. It's hard.
It's just not worth it.
Versus when I run my Death Watch, Primaris Chaplain on bike, give him a Wise Order, right? You give him the 20 point, 30 point upgrade to like cast 2 litanies, whatever it is. I can't remember, but the combo is you cast 2 on 2. And then he's on a bike, so he advances 20. You pull up a squad full of Terminators within 3 inches of you, within 9 of the enemy. Now they have +2 to charge and a +3 to advance, or to pilot and consolidate. And then they're rerolling all wounds. It's fucking nuts. Like, that's a combo. And it only takes 2 rolls to make that happen. And 1 relic. Versus Grey Knights, where you get less than half of the effect for like 6 or 7 rolls. It's rough.
No, it's probably been what, when they first, I think the first time that we got a nerf, or when they increased the points of Dread Knights for the first time, it's like that hurt, but we were still good. But I think as soon as Nephilim came out and they fucked with all the CP, I honestly feel like we became a terrible army. Like Dread Knights were still like fine. Whoever pioneered the Librarian, God bless that guy.
Yeah, you see him in every list now. There isn't a single Grey Knights list that I've seen for months that doesn't have the Mortal Wound Librarian in it. The only thing is, does somebody take Gem in Toku or not? Like, that's it.
God, like, that is just the worst relic.
Right here, Warwick. I'm working on him right now. But yeah, I know
you don't need the Mortal Wound Librarian. It's such a good tool to have. But if you take away him, you're saving what, 1 to 2 CP, and every single turn you can spend your CP on your Dread Knights or sideboard ammunition or shunting. So if you have an all Dread Knight list and you just get rid of the Libby, you have a lot more CP to actually do shit. I spend 2 to 3 CP a turn on my Libby every single time.
Same.
That's true, but that Libby is also one of the best charge threats in the game.
I feel like if you
come over here.
Bearers, I feel like if you're on a Sword Bearers, you don't need the Librarian, because you need that CP to actually make the Sword Bearers work.
I agree with that.
Especially if you're on a Stormraven, right, Rick?
We'll see. One of these days, I will do it.
Don't let me run the list before you, because that would be bad.
Aw, well,
hey,
so with this GT, I'm running 2 Helvern lists. I do have backups in the, like, waiting the win for my friends, by the way, so if I don't finish these, I'll still have Helverns. I just want them to really match my army, is all. I'm being anal retentive. You remember when I said my ADD earlier? Like, it will bother me the entire tournament if my shit doesn't match.
Oh, you would please never look at my army. Not a damn near nothing matches. I've got metal models that are painted in traditional Grey Knights. I've got my very poorly painted like black and pink models, and then I think there's like another random like pre-painted Librarian that's offset. It's rough.
Aw, thanks, Kellum. All these folks were gonna do other stuff, and then they saw the stream was going on, and now they're gonna paint or hang out or listen to us. But so to put this into perspective, Quinn, a lot of my army, the core of my army when I first got into this game, is I bought about $1,300 worth of Grey Knights off of a friend already painted that he hadn't played with in years. He gave me for $200. I brought them home. Played with them, started to paint and stuff, and my painting skill very quickly like exceeded what my models had on them, and even my first models. So now I'm slowly going through and like repainting everything. So I'm gonna hold this up to the stream camera. So on the bottom here, you can see what my Rhino's paint job used to look like, and I just didn't repaint the bottom because nobody sees it. But I repainted the rest of it to match the rest of my army, and I'm not done yet. Like, this is just base coats, basically. But, like, you can already see it went from, like, Lead Belcher with heavy-handed Drakenhof Nightshade just brushed on to an airbrush slow fade from Dragonhof Nightshade up through Grey Knight Steel to Vallejo Air Chrome on top. And then I'm trying to keep like everything just nice and beautiful, like all the panel lines proper, because it's a Grey Knights. Like their stuff has like runes and incantations in it. It's supposed to always look, you know, like pristine. And so
No,
I've gone.
That looks great.
Yeah. So I'm repainting my army. It is what I'm saying. And that way it matches the way I think it's like I feel it should match. If that made any sense. I don't think that was English, but whatever.
No, I'm actually on my character sheet. I speak ADD. So
Oh, perfect. The box with doors, man. 15-inch move. I think it was it Derek that turned me on to this, or was it you, Quinn? It might have been Derek. The 15-inch move out of the Rhino with interceptors as one of the, like, it's one of our only tricks. Vanguard veterans can't do that shit. They take up 2 spots. If they can even get in a Rhino, which I don't even think they can get in a Rhino. They can get in Land Raiders. Anyway, interceptors
when you move them, it's even funnier. They're
Yeah.
like, wait, you can get back in? I'm like, yeah. Different phase.
Yep. It's so good. And like, what's the 6th objective? There's a, oh god, now I have to go to Wikipedia.
Status cry salvage.
Yeah, that's it. The 6th objective mission where like it's all not symmetrical. Anyway,
Yeah.
if you have the front bumper of your Rhino on your deployment zone, you can reach your opponent's deployment zone with interceptors with a 15-inch move. You can just tow in there. About a 1/4 inch of your base can get onto the actual like plate around the objective, and so immediately you just have like insane threat.
Fair. So
Right out the gate.
First thing, sometimes all you need is a 1/4 inch. Second thing, I really liked the gesticulating of the hands when you were trying to portray not symmetrical.
Yeah, it was very Vogue of me.
Yeah, I loved it.
How many is too many what? Rhinos or interceptors? Because the answer to the second thing is there aren't enough. And if I could take more than 30, I would.
So it's like, real talk though, the list I played at the GT the other weekend, I really enjoyed having that Rhino. And it's like, the Land Raider, that thing sucks. But that Rhino,
Yeah, it's way too expensive, but
yeah. But no, I really liked the Rhino because it was just, I had the 10 mana purifiers in it. And then if I had another one, I would just go ahead and put a 10 mana interceptors in it. And, well, 2 5s, of course. But
yeah.
And then just send them on their way. Because dropping in a purgation squad to get behind enemy lines was fantastic. But then, like, gating literal anything to get the other one, maybe even a Rhino, felt really good.
Yeah.
Dude, a Rhino won me a game at LVO because it contested an objective that Gaz was on, Gazgul, and then when he moved his Goths up to do the action, get the good bits, I fucking charged the Gretchen through the wall, stopped the action the next turn. They ran, and then he couldn't do the action because he was in combat. So basically, I stopped like fucking 4, 5, 6, 7, like 10 points with one Rhino charge.
Get the good bits, baby. Super good.
That secondary is so free.
So how many are too many Rhinos? I think I could make the case for 2, but 1 is pretty clutch. One's really good. And then your question about the Razorback, I know Quinn's been playing around with Razorbacks, but you can't actually put 5 interceptors and Crow in a Razorback because they only fit 5 power armor models. You could fit Crow and 5 Purifiers in a Rhino. Because, yeah, one I can easily see in almost every Grey Knights list. And the only reason I'm not taking one to this GT is I really want to play with the Armigers and see how they go.
Razorback is 6 models, right?
Yeah, it's 6 infantry.
I thought it was 5.
No, it's
No,
6.
6.
That's why I was doing a
What?
strike.
Oh.
Yeah, I was doing Crow and a 5-man strike squad.
Okay, well then I'm completely wrong, and you should ignore me, Callum. You can tell how fucking good I am at this game. Actually, you can just tell how many times I've actually used Razorbacks.
Reading.
Exactly, reading. Yes, as we all know.
It's hard.
It is.
Full disclosure, I'm from the South, so I never actually learned. I just kind of I look at the pictures and go from there.
I don't see putting a Purgation squad in a Rhino unless it's like the middle of the game and you're trying to save them for something. Like the 15-inch move from the Interceptors is just nuts. Like
you hop over just units and charge their characters that are hiding behind everything.
It's so good. Like
So
even
good.
when you like in your list discussion phase, if you remind people of that. And then they'll still deploy in their own way, usually not think anything about it. And the next thing they know, they're like, how did 10 angry jetpack dudes get over here? You know.
Best is just not showing your Rhino ever through the game. Like you just keep them behind the cover, the
terrain.
wall. Yeah, and then they could just never shoot it, and you just have literally a launching point for the whole game.
Every turn, launch up another 5-man. Every turn, launch up a 5-man. Pew,
Yep.
pew, pew. Yep. Highly recommend playing with Rhinos if you haven't. Big fan. All right, so
Bring the halberds to Vestor.
It's all about halberds. I love the halberds.
thank you. I do too. They're iconic, man.
Well, I mean, I say that, but let me preface. I do run not halberds in my list as well. All of my strikes have swords, because I feel like if somebody wants to get that close, they're probably going to be a fast unit that probably have just like a low armor save and no invuln, and are going to be toughness 4 or 5. So I just want to make sure they die.
Yeah.
But I do really love halberds more now, so that way we just wound on 3s and 2s again.
Yep.
Oh, so strikes have a hammer hand, so you can just reroll it anyway.
Yep. Yeah. Hammerhand.
Yeah. No,
that's one of my favorite psychic powers.
Trajan is done.
I have swords on all my strikes for sure. So you gotta show us your Trajan if he's done, man. You can't just say that.
Not a lot of good lighting.
Well, now you're just a tease.
I'll allow it.
Oh, he's built. Got it. I thought you meant like done, like all done.
No, literally just open up this box today.
Got it. And
Now we
here,
got Lars.
here is Sindri with the elephant in the room question. How do you deal with fucking Dark Angel Terminator spam?
So the best part is I think the Terminator spam build is so much easier for us than the bike build.
The Raven Wing?
Yeah.
Explain
'cause
how.
Terminators, real slow. Terminators, not great against mortal wounds. Bikes, real fast. Bikes get angles. Bikes have really good invulns. Bikes can get +1 to shooting, whatever they want to do. The bikes are much harder in my opinion. The terms, it's hard for Dark Angels that run the Termi list to respect your deep striking. So it's like if you just want to shunt and harass their home objectives, what are they going to do? Turn that blob of Terminators around and march 5 inches at you? That's fine.
Come back.
That is true. They are really slow.
I need to do that. A17 up in here. Gotta build these arms for these armigers. Otherwise, they're
think
just jurors.
when you commit, you have to commit into one whole squad to try and kill them.
That is true.
They hit on force, they have transhuman always, so you can reroll your wounds. So if you can get hammerhand on a bunch of shit, you're gonna be able to rerolling wounds. So the sweeps, doing 4 attacks with hammerhand and rerolling wounds, trying to get 6s. It's gonna kill a bunch of Terminators, but I wouldn't go into like a full 10-man Terminator with your Dread Knight. It's just gonna die. But if you like whittle it down to shooting and then eventually charge in, you can definitely finish it off. They only have a 6-up Feel No Pain with the Apothecary, but they have a spell, I believe, with the 5-up Feel No Pain. So they put that on one unit.
Or is it Azrael that gives them an aura of 5-up Feel No Pain, some mortals or something?
Oh, is it the aura? So they both have 5-up?
I don't honestly remember. That's why I'm asking.
I literally just played it like the other day, but he failed both of his litanies turn 1. So I don't remember what it was. Yeah, I literally just shot the shit out of him, killed all of his characters, and then the Terminators are easy. So if you can kill the characters, kill the characters.
You heard it here first, folks.
Ooh, so Derek, I got a question for you because you're better at Grey Knights than I am. I would like to know
Only
how.
by 1 point. Only by 1 point.
I would like to know how do you treat your Dread Knights? To you, are they your first line of defense or your last line of defense?
They are my gun platforms. Getting into combat is the last line of defense.
Interesting.
I'm not with your Grandmaster,
opposite.
right?
If they get to me, I then will charge, but most of the time I'm standing back and shooting from 30 inches away, almost the entire game. And having the tech priests either heal them or they hide behind cover and wait a turn or what, but most of the time they're not getting in combat.
Okay. Yeah, I'm the exact opposite. To me, if my little guys die, I lose the game. If my big guys die, I can still win the game. So I won't just most of the times I won't just throw them down mid. I will keep them at some distance away, but depending on the matchup, I'm gonna either just form a death ball with 3 of them and then move the Grandmaster around to harass because I can just sigil. But then I'll keep all of my interceptors hidden for as many turns as I possibly can, sending out maybe a wave at a time, because it's going to take more time for them to chew through 4 Dread Knights with 4-up invulns and the 13 wounds than it will for them to wipe out a 5-man interceptor unit. And I guess if you've used them as a gun platform well enough to make sure they can't get to you because you've thrown enough fodder, then that's cool. It really scares me to have them be the ones that are watching my home objective rather than like little dudes.
I do, again, the opposite. I use my interceptors as missiles and trade. Like if I can trade their 120 points every single turn, I'm going to win because my dreads can shoot off the other, 180 points. So like against the Dark Angels, I used 2 Armigers, 3 Dread Knights, and my Grandmaster, and I killed one of the big speeders tanks. Turn 1, he left the other 2 behind cover, so I couldn't shoot at them. And then
Raven or the Talon Master. That's their weird like character speeder that does all kinds of goofy shit.
Yeah, he had that guy. He had another one, and then he had 2 bikes. One was a chaplain, one I think was an apothecary, and then he had Azrael. 2 20-man blobs, 3 scout dudes, and 3 tanks. So like the tanks, 130 points tanks, they have like all the weapons on it. Those things I wanted to kill as soon as possible because they're the ones that are going to kill my Dread Knights. So turn 1, I killed one of them. Then his shot back, he killed one of my Armigers and took 1 Dread Knight down to like 3 wounds. And my clap back was he shot my Grandmaster gated behind his lines, and then I deep struck the Librarian, and my Grandmaster was able to kill 1 character. Libby killed the other character. we blew up the other 2 tanks with everything else, and then my interceptor squad hopped out and charged the other character. So he lost 4 characters and all 3 of the tanks. So all he had left was Azrael, 2 20-man blobs, and that's it. So he kills
20-man blobs of Terminators? I'm sorry.
2 20-man blob Terminators, yeah.
20-man blobs.
I'm sorry, 2 10-man blobs.
Okay. I was like, they can do that? That's insane.
So he...
What a conga line that would be.
I gave my Libby back to safety after he nukes a character. And then he kills my Grandmaster. And he kills my Interceptor squad.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have 3 Dreads, 15 Interceptors, Strike, 2 Libbies, and an Armiger left to just plink off the Terminators for the rest of the game.
Yeah, if they lose the Apothecary and Azrael, the Terminators are still very good, but far less scary.
Yeah, I just went character hunting, and it worked out really well.
So Sindri's asking, with that information on the Terminator blob being easier, how do you deal with like your Ravenwing? Like if they just bring bikes, if they just bring if Warwick is still in here, he mains Dark Angels and did even when they were bad, so no booing, please. Like, how would you deal with that? Because they're so fast. They have Melta, so much Melta. Like, if you don't make your 4-up invul saves on your dreads, they just fall over.
Just deep strike all your dreads. And get the alpha strike.
I mean,
basically don't let them shoot you.
But do you target like 1 unit of bikes and you just try to pop 1 unit of bikes and then leave 1 or 2 more running around the board for the rest of it? Like, this is the honest question. This is not like a trap thing. I'm honestly curious.
I try to kill whatever can kill my dreads. Like that is the whole point of the game, is like, if my dreads are alive at the end of the game, I basically won. So if I take off the biggest threat against them, then it's so much easier to win the game off of secondaries and just hiding and stuff like that. So if I kill all the Melta guys, I'm fine. If I don't kill the Melta guys, I probably lose.
Yeah, I do agree. It's the Meltas are a very, very big problem.
And you can also roll a shit ton of 4s. Like if they shoot your guys and you roll 3, 4 4s, then you're like, all right, well, they're dead now.
Yeah.
Like Devastators are fucking scary. I played Blood Angels enough and Space Marines that you always have them in the list. So if I can kill them as soon as possible, then my dreads can sit in the open from 30 inches away and shoot people. But if they're still on the table, dude, you're scary.
I've only played the matchup 1 time, and because of that, the only real advice I can give you that isn't just speculative is pray.
Pray they roll up.
What if we're not religious?
Like just go first. Just don't go second.
Just go first. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Man,
it is not against the rules to ask your opponent if you can go first.
So me and Rick were talking earlier about the Armigers. And Rick, tell us what you think the best loadout for the Armiger, like which tide you should be taking.
For the Armigers? Yeah. Which tide? The tide is, it doesn't matter because they don't get the tide.
That is true.
Are you trying to trick me now, brother? There was that whole reading is hard thing though, just so that everybody's aware. I was making fun of Derek because
like always.
I was like, you should maybe learn to read, Derek. And then he's like, dude, what you wrote, you're not even talking about what you wrote.
You basically said a roll and it wasn't the right roll.
No, it's so like in my defense, not to say that it wasn't stupid, and I take full responsibility. But like, I was at work in a meeting talking on Slack to another person at work and talking to these guys on Discord while also trying to learn Armiger rules on Wahapedia. So like, my brain was completely shattered, and I'm sure somewhere that comment I made sense. What was funny is I was trying to give you shit, and it just went right back into my own mouth, is really what happened.
So you thought that they hit on twos, and Quinn was like, how the fuck did they hit on twos? You're like, right there in that thing. I'm like, bro, this isn't even the same strat.
Yeah, I was talking about a different strat, but thinking about the stratagem there's
not even a
Hunters
strat
of
to hit on.
Beasts, which wouldn't count into Deathwing Terminators, which is so yeah. I had confused myself.
Okay.
What's the
Is that what you're doing, the Hunters of Beasts instead of the Mysterious Guardians?
well, I still have until 11:59 p.m. my time to actually submit my list. So what do you think?
Wait,
I know
have you tried the Armigers?
I haven't, dude. I'm building them right now. I've never used them.
I haven't tried them. JP played them against me the other day, and I think they're underwhelming. But I don't know the loadout that he used. I just know that they felt underwhelming.
So did he just play him like shit and you shot him off the table? Because that could happen.
No, I don't think so. It's I was playing with Custodes, and the list I was
you're
using...
also Custodes.
Well, yeah,
Very
but
durable.
I mean, but I mean, as long as I make 4 up, sure. But my rolls weren't like, godlike at all. But it was in theory that thing should be taking out wardens and guards because it's 3 damage. So every fail is just a dude.
Yeah.
But it's like I love autocannons, but the 2d3, even though that's the most fair way to do them, and that's going to get you the most shots on average, it still just didn't feel like enough. Because he was doing that with 4 dreads, and that felt real egregious. He was doing 2 armigers and a grandmaster and 3 normal dreads.
Okay, sounds good.
It felt like he didn't have enough stuff on board, so I just harassed all of his interceptors and strikes off the table, and now he has to dedicate. He's got to dedicate things to spots where he doesn't want them, and it's like that whole thing where, to me, the vehicles, the non-knight vehicles, are the first line of defense. Because I'm just not sure what you do if your small units get harassed. So that's all I did. I was just able to build up a small castle behind my big L in the middle. Player placed terrain. I cut off his shooting line, so the armigers didn't really have shots on anything as long as I didn't touch a building. But I don't need to, since I have a 4-up invuln. I'm just trying to think of the matches where it's like I will give you. I think the armigers probably help in the Terminator and probably even Ravenwing matchup because of the high AP and the flat 3 damage. So you're just gonna pop a Terminator, before Feel No Pain. But with Grey Knights, to me, I really, really like having more small dudes on board than big dudes, which is why I pretty much just stop at the max 4 dreads. But I'd want to see a couple more games played just to see what else they bring. Again, I've only seen them into Custodes so far. So again, as long as I roll 4s, that is just a pseudo impossible matchup, especially since they shut down 50% of the mortals you deal as well. But I would want to see them into what's good for the meta now. Like if you run another Knights, love them. You run into Tyranids with monsters, love them. I'm not sure how they'll do against things like World Eaters or any other army, but once I watch some more videos or I just watch people get reps in with them, then I would gladly give a little bit more feedback.
So I got one with 3 Armiger tournament video, and I think 3 is too many. Like, there's not enough dudes on the table to do secondaries. But when you run 2, you got an extra 155 points that you can bring another interceptor squad, another servitor unit, so that way you can actually do shit. I ran the list into Dark Angels, and my favorite build would be the Mysterious Guardians or whatever it's called. So that way they can come in from reserves turn 1. So you don't have to worry about them being on the table. You don't have to worry about hiding them. If you're having 3 or 4 dreads on the table, like you're never gonna fit fucking 2 armigers as well. So Mysterious Guardians, they come in turn 1 from any fucking table edge besides your opponent's table edge, and you can get vectors on anything you want turn 1. So they walk on to both of them. You can spend 1 CP. They auto wound on 6s, and you can kill probably 1 to 2 units of regular dudes, or you can blow up 1 to 2 tanks, while all your other dreads are moving across, getting other vectors on everything else. So, and they're object. So sometimes if you walk on, you can be within 6 inches and get on objective. Sticky objectives are great because you walk on, get on objective, and then just fucking walk away, and now it's yours forever. So they then with Mysterious Guardians, it's more defensive. Like I play Grey Knights because with the redeploy 3, and if you go first, you're basically redeploying to get crazy lines on the opponent, as well as 2 armorers walking in from the side table, shooting their backfield.
Yep. Agreed.
The Games Workshop setup where there's 4 big 12x12s, you can't hide your army. Like physically, you can't hide your army. If I walk in an armiger on the right side of my table edge, I can see your entire army. So you just walk on, you literally just shoot whatever the fuck you want.
Well, I won't be playing Games Workshop terrain. We're playing player place, so that'll be interesting.
So when they fuck up, you tell them why they fucked up, and this is why.
Shield of Humanity, Divination, Librarian, Shield of Humanity, Psychic Epitome.
Yeah, Mark's
Melta.
my boy making me all the 3D prints. So he found a crown, the Nocturne crown or whatever from Chaos. Found a 3D print of it.
Hot.
Fucking 100 points for CP every single turn. And if you're within a certain range, you get -1 leadership.
Ugh.
And you can switch out a power or a prayer mid-game.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to try with the Night Lords to just boost up to -7 leadership to whoever gets close.
Add to favorites. And then that leaves me with 25 points. What do I want to do?
Do you have Foretelling of Locust?
I do. God, I can't. Like, you have to understand. I know a lot of you take this because you're good at the game and you can use it to play mind games. I take it because I'm bad at the game and I fix my mistakes. But it's basically 25 required points.
I agree. I never leave home without it.
I have. So here's the question. On my Grandmaster Nemesis Dread Knight.
Yes.
So it'll be 4 DKs and 2 armigers. I'm going balls to the wall on the just tall, walkie robots. Do I want... I won't have warp shaping in this list. So I'll just be going Tide of Convergence every single game and saying in it, because that's the way life will be. So do I want Gate and Empiric Amplification on my Grandmaster, or do I want Vortex of Doom and Empiric Amplification on my Grandmaster?
Gate.
Okay, that's kind of the way I was also leaning. Because my Tech Marine will have Gate, but also the Divination Warlord trait. So he needs to either cast Gate or get me a CP every turn. Where usually with my Tech Marine, I make him have Warp Shaping and Divination, where I might change the tide once a game. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's really all you need because you're never gonna change the tide ever. You're just gonna you're gonna go first, and you're gonna be like, oh great, I need
True.
30 inches, or you're gonna go second and be like, oh shit, I can get in combat with you. So it's like you're never gonna fucking change the tide.
I do like tides against shooty, or I like shadows against shooty armies. Um,
And what's
but
their
it,
AP?
but if you do really well with your army placement, you also don't give them anything to shoot at if they go first. So,
Mhm.
and then you never say in tide of shadows longer than one turn anyway. So this will be interesting.
That's true. I just put it on Crow just to have it, and just in case I ever needed it.
You ever put Vortex of Doom on Crow?
No, but I thought
No, you
about it
cast
because
Purifying Flame with them because it gets +1 to cast it.
yeah, you
Well,
just
then
spend the
spend
CP and cast both.
and cast both.
See,
But that's why you have your librarian. Like, what happened to your librarian, friendo?
Right,
Uh,
if he dies.
yeah. If he's dead, now you got a backup. Or if you're like, you know what? Maybe I just drop
Smite.
him in somewhere else and smite, and maybe increase the range and purify, and then you just also purify with Crow and then vortex with Crow.
You won't have to
That's
increase the
fair.
range because let's say you deep strike with your Libby and you cast Vortex of Doom and Smite, and then Crow casts. I'm sorry, Vortex of Doom. No, Purify. Fuck. What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
You can't cast two. Never mind.
I don't know.
I'm like, wait, no, the Libby can cast Smite instead of it, but then you have to increase the range anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna in the chat on YouTube, I'm gonna paste in a paste bin link, and it's so everybody at home can follow along. Here's my list that I'm thinking about bringing to the GT. And remember, I have to figure this out like in the next couple hours. I am missing 25 points.
By the end of this stream, I'm gonna somehow convince you to scrap the entire idea.
Yeah,
We're
and
gonna
run
build
like
something completely new.
5
Run 6
Razorbacks. 5
Yeah,
Razorbacks and nothing but like strike squads. Go.
I'll overnight them to you.
One HQ. Yeah.
Is there a Stormraven in the list?
There isn't. I'm sorry, buddy. My Stormraven is not ready to go. And I'm not gonna just paint one red stripe down the side, one white stripe down the side, and say it's 3 colors. Although technically my base coat alone is 3 colors already.
There you go.
Good lord.
Yeah, buddy. That the airbrush makes me look like I know what I'm doing, and I guarantee you I don't. But it makes me look like I'm good at painting.
Yeah, see, it's like you're telling me that you're not good, but as I stare into your eyes on this stream, all I can think about is how good you are.
I do have these sweet baby greens, which nobody, I don't think, has ever said before, but there you go.
Reserve dead.
Uh,
Is it reserved dead by guards? No reserve tricks 1 to 2. Oh, so somebody's asking about the guards, no reserves. Is that a CP or 2 CP?
I'm sorry, I don't. Oh,
About what?
I
Do
didn't.
guards stop people from coming in from reserves for one
Wow,
turn?
the chat moved a lot faster than I noticed. I don't see a
know that-
world where GKs win with a strong player on a good Dark Angels list. They are better in every way.
That was negative.
Hey, man.
I mean,
That's the hard truth.
I don't think it's being negative. I think it's being. I am definitely worried about that matchup. Let's just put it that way. That is gonna be. That's gonna be a game.
Dude, I got a video coming out probably Sunday or Monday, but I recorded that video of me and the Dark Angels, and the Dark Angels player is really good. He plays like top 18 in Nova. And he won the last RTT. He got 297 out of 300 points.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's one of the. There's a guy in my local meta, Jed, and he's been playing Dark Angels since they weren't great. And he said at his last like 6 or 7 games, he's like dropped like 12 points total.
Yeah. So
Like,
he
honestly, gets
it's out,
98 to 100 every single game.
Yeah, you just
And-
gotta outplay him.
Yeah. And Jed's good. He's a very good player, but he's not like he's not a, I mean, he would even say this, so like nobody take this as me slamming him. I will send him this video with this like timestamp on it. Jed himself says he's not that good, that he deserves 98 to 100 points every single game. Maybe
Damn,
he's
I can't
just
believe you
humble.
just slammed that guy like that.
Maybe he's just humble. That's possible.
So it's
He's a
called
very nice dude.
Oracle Interference 2 CP. You can do no reserves for guard. And in that case, I still would put my guys in reserve because probably once. I mean, it might be more, but again, if I put my guys on the table with guard, they just get shot. So I have to put them in reserve. So there's really no point.
True.
And
This is good information.
I take like secondaries and stuff to make my opponent spend CP. For Chaos, I took Warp Ritual against Black Templars. Probably a bad fucking idea, probably a stupid idea, but it makes them spend a CP to try and deny it on a 4+. And still 50-50 shot. I only have to do it, 3 times to get max points. So I'm going to take it every single time for him to spend points. And then if he spends that 1 point and now he doesn't have 2 CP to interrupt, boom, that could be a whole fucking game right there. Like you can literally go hand with your entire army to charge his whole force because he can't interrupt you. That happened to me in the Demons player at LVO. He only had 1 CP going into my turn. So I literally said, fuck it. I literally ran everybody forward and charged because I knew he couldn't interrupt. So that 1 CP made up for the entire turn of charging.
Boy, that shit just blew my mind. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm not even that good. I don't like. I followed you. I followed you 100%. Like I completely followed you.
Oh my god!
I would not have been able to like
force them to spend CP.
Think about that, especially
if there's an option. Hey, I have an interrupt for 2 CP. Good, fucking use it. Do it. I don't care. Like you're 2 CP less now. There's so many good strats for 2 CP that if they have to use it, they're not interrupting. They're not doing this, not doing that. Like I don't want to spend CP for shunts because it's so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Like if I do not shunt, I won't shunt. I will only shunt if it's like turn 5 and I need 1 more teleport assault. That's when I'm shunting.
Yeah.
Rick's over here like, damn, I understood each of those words on their own.
Exactly. Individually, I followed along. No, it's just like, I never think about that. Like, I go in with a game plan, right? Like, I build a list and, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm going to primarily do behind enemy lines, teleport assault, purifying ritual. Most games, that's what I'm going to pick. I'm not going to look at them and be like, oh, Black Templar have a 4-up to deny at any time. I know that like Necrons do too, or at least one of their dynasties do. Anyway, whatever. Like I'm just, you know, there are metas within metas of this game. Like list building, its own meta. Picking a secondary, its own meta. Picking a secondary against certain opponents, its own meta. Picking a secondary against a specific mission is its own meta. And I'm just like, I haven't gotten enough reps in yet where I feel comfortable enough doing that. Where instead I'm going to go with, I have a plan and hopefully I can make changes as the game progresses. Because there are armies out there I still haven't even played. I've never gone into, or I've played 1 game into Imp Knights. I've still never played Guard ever. I've never played Demons ever. I've never played Sisters ever.
Fuck.
Yeah, like there are entire very good armies out there I've just never played into. I've played Nids a ton. I've played Chaos Space Marines a ton. I've played Death Guard I don't even know how many times. I've played Necrons a lot, right? Like, I feel good into those armies, but I don't know.
So, is this because, like, there's just nobody in your local scene that's playing, or everybody plays the same thing, or you just don't have time to get out and, like, socialize?
A lot of it is point 3 is that my friends who are like, I might find out, oh, I have an evening free, but it's like 3 hours before. And so I'll ping my like friends group, hey, who's free to play? And usually it's either my Death Guard friend or my Iron Warriors friend. That's who I get in a game with. Things are changing. Like my community is opening up more. I'm on a team now. I'm on the Ordo
Nice.
Fanaticus team,
It's awesome.
who's actually hosting this grand tournament. So I'm stoked for that. There are Warwick was in chat earlier. He's my team leader. He's on the, he plays Dark Angels. Actually, Warwick was my first tournament opponent ever, my first RTT ever. He was playing Dark Angels that were still painted as Imp Fists, and I was playing Grey Knights fresh off of their Codex release, and I absolutely pulverized him. And I don't think it would go that way this now if we played again.
Not with that attitude.
That's a fair point, sir. It's a fair point. But no, I just need to get in more. Oh, and I've also played Eldari a lot. A lot. Like, so
I feel like we have good game into Eldari, obviously, because of all the
Oh, yeah.
psychic powers and stuff, and they just die to our bolters.
Best gun in the game, baby.
yes, Storm Bolters into Eldari feel amazing.
Even our
Like-
halberds more than twos.
Yeah, man. It's like, oh, it feels so good. And then when you can, they rely on all those powers going off. Like, if you stop Doom and Guidance, you've just completely assed over at least one unit
That is true.
for 20% of their efficiency, basically. Like, you just have to stop two powers, and we get +1 to deny.
And we have a 1 CP strat to roll 3 dice.
Yeah.
Like, that's
My-
some bullshit.
My first tournament Eldari opponent, I stopped like every single cast that he had. And he's like, "Hey man, what do I do against you? Like, how do I stop you from doing that?" I'm like, "Honestly, man, I don't know. If you're within deny range of me, I get +1 to deny. I have so many denies, I'm not gonna not deny you. You have 7 casts, I have 9 units in range.
Yep.
I don't care. I'm going to roll it. Like, I'm sorry. This is just kind of a shitty matchup into me, specifically. If I can get in range, obviously. Really good players will move their casters really far away and buff what's nearby, especially with Eldari, they're so fast, usually.
I'm really surprised they didn't just give us a 1 CP 4-up deny.
Why does T-Suns have you keep all 3 dice and we have to drop the lowest?
Yep.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, also, so remember everybody watching my stream, remember that Derek's also streaming and answering questions on his stream. So that's probably why you're seeing questions being answered that aren't in my chat, and vice versa.
Well, my boy Frank sent me like 10 wardens. So I bought 10 wardens from the shop from store credit, and then I got another 10 coming my way, and then I bought all of the shit that I'm putting together tonight. It basically makes up the entire Custodes army that I'm playing with. I don't know, I think I spent 95 cents because of store credit. So I literally got the whole army for 95 cents and some dice and fucking Dirtbag Nation. So
Nice, man.
appreciate you, Frank.
Value.
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Pure value.
Pew 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 pew.
Dude, the Chaos Knights look so fucking cool.
Dude,
But they don't come with armor like autocannons. They only come with all the other builds.
I don't think they have the exact Armiger ones, but they still have pretty good long range blasting. I played my first Chaos Knight game at that RTT that I won, and it was really funny because he's like, I've never played into Grey Knights. I'm like, cool, I've never played into Chaos Knights. Let's do this.
God, I was messing around with Chaos Knights last fall / like early this winter, and I was having a lot of fun with them. The Abominant has to be one of my favorite models.
Dude, and when you do like the house that gives them 4 more wounds,
House Herpetrax.
those 4 wounds were insane. Like, I could easily do 24 wounds. I could not easily do 28 wounds.
Well,
it made it
felt
live
really
like 2 turns longer than it should have.
it felt really good having a model that has trans hitman and no rerolls. So that felt really cool.
Dude, that in Chaos, I love it. Like it's such a good combo. Like Trans Hitman, Fino Pain, like that turn, dude. My Black Legion list is fucking scary. Like I think if I see it across the table, how the fuck do I beat this with Grey Knights, Death Guard, like any? If I was playing myself against Black Legion, I'd just be like, all right, let's just roll 4 up because I don't even feel like playing this game. Like the Grey Knight list just dies.
Yeah.
I played my buddy who plays Black Legion. I told him about the Veilbreaker play right when the Codex came out. I was like, this is going to be my thing. If I play Chaos, this is what I'm playing. So he started playing it, and I'm teaching him like how to run it and stuff. And we played 1 game with it, and I literally told him, all right, Veilbreak now. He's like, you sure? I was like, yeah, do it now. So he takes over the one side, he kills like 2 strikes, intercept squad, put his Terminators on my objective, and I'm like, great, well, I literally can't kill them, so I'm just gonna run away. I run away, and for the rest of the game, he literally just keeps moving forward, advances and charge the next unit, kills them. Like, and it's such a bad matchup that if you have a decent player with Veilbreaker play that gets everything off, you can't touch it. You can't shoot it off the table. You can't charge it off the table because they're Sinesh, so they just fight before you. We don't have any fight last in our codex, so we can't make.
Well, we have one. We have one, the True Name Shard, and it's only usable against demons once a game, and they have to be within like 6 inches of the unit that has True Name Shard.
Codex, so.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
We do
it's actually worse.
Bring it.
It's worse that we have it, because it's like then they thought about giving us fight last, and they're like, "Here you go. Here is." Like the lamest fight last we could possibly give you.
We have a fight first, but it doesn't matter.
And it's a psychic action. That's the worst part. So if you bring like an apothecary,
Pro has it built in.
He has. Oh well, he has fight on death.
He's got fight first.
Against characters.
Against against characters or against everybody.
I believe it's characters.
Okay.
Yeah. Is he the one where he can fight twice? Like he can fight and then fight on death, or he can't fight on death?
No, if you fight, you can't then fight on death.
There's a sister character that you can fight and then on death you fight again.
That's stupid.
With like 6 attacks, exploding 6s, hitting on 2s, and then 3 damage in Bloody Rose. So it's
Lord.
Fucking nuts. I faced it the last tournament. Dude, these wardens look sick.
So what do you guys think I need to... Like, I got those 25 points. Where do I use them?
All right, so
win rate. Let's go.
Can you...
I could put in 2 acolytes for 20 points.
Can you cut things to...
I've already
put in some servitors.
All the weapons off of my Dread Knights. I'm already down to just a hammer on my Grandmaster.
No, dude, go weapons on the Dread Knights then.
I can only take
they
like
need to get in
one.
combat. They need a weapon. If they don't have any weapons, they fucking suck.
Wait, then what? Oh man,
the fists aren't bad. They're strength 12
Dude,
minus 2 damage.
They're bad.
No, they're terrible.
They're bad.
What?
It's a trap. Yeah, it's a hard trap.
They're bad.
Like if you thought the sword was bad, the fists are actually worse.
The sword was bad with armor content. Now armor content's gone. Sword is amazing. AP2 rolling 5 on Marines and 4s on Terminators with 2 damage and 6s do mortals. Fucking great.
Okay, weren't you the guy who said I just use these as gun platforms anyway? Like, aren't you
Yeah, but
wasting?
I said if they get to me, I then charge. If they get to me, I don't have weapons. I am like hand tied behind my back.
Well, there's no way I'm gonna find 45 points in here without like dropping an
So
entire group of strikes or something.
I did my last fucking thing. I did 1 sword. No, I did 2 swords and nothing on my 3rd Dread Knight because that Dread Knight just either comes in deep strike and just shoots from 30 inches away. That's basically all he does. So he literally is the one that always stays in the back. The other 2 has swords, and then my Grandmaster has a sword.
Yeah, so my Grandmaster has the hammer.
You love that hammer, don't you?
It's basically melee melta, man. Like, and
I
there's
actually
nothing.
like the hammer on the Grandmaster.
There's nothing else in this list that hits that hard. Like, I have no melta. I have the Hellbrinds, which are only 3 damage. I can get my side cannons up to 3 damage if I cast Empiric Amplification.
Are you running Prescient?
Yeah.
Dude, the Grandmaster in combat with Prescient is dirty.
I know.
Yep.
Rolling 1s to hit and wound.
Yeah, that's great. Huge fan.
It's better on the sword. Because you hit on 2s,
yeah,
1s.
but D6 damage,
I don't know.
dude.
Yeah,
D6 damage is the worst.
Like
D6 damage hurts so bad. I hate it. Like,
I don't ever do D6 damage. Unless it's like a tank and then it just dies anyway.
Sure. I mean, the sweep is what you use into infantry, absolutely. But, like, I mean, you know, what I do with the Grandmaster is I usually hunt, like, big shit that I need to kill, like kill rigs or, what's that? The, like, Rogel Dorn, you know, big things that, like, have to die.
That thing is so big for no reason.
What's that?
Does your Grandmaster make it past turn 3?
Yeah, usually.
Teach me.
I mean, most of the time I'm cagey with them anyway, unless like I'll set him out during deployment because if he gets shot, I'll just move him. Big deal. But usually, I just play really cagey with him until I need to like go, and then I'll gate him or, you know, something like that. Also, a lot of the people I've played against have learned not to shoot at him.
Yes,
because then he goes exactly where you don't want him.
So here's the thing: if anybody's watching that aren't Grey Knight players, you want to target the Grandmaster as early as fucking possible. Like turn 1 if you can. So if you give it to them turn 1, they're going to take it. So if you could hide your Grandmaster turn 1, hide your Grandmaster turn 1, and then you should be able to get fucking, you know, within range of 30 inches to shoot something. If not, either shunt or gate him turn 1. If he doesn't shoot turn 1, that's fine. You still have shunt. But if you don't go turn 1 and they force you to shunt, you're not shunting anywhere. You're literally just shunting behind a cover where you could have just started at in the beginning of the game.
But I've had games where he's actually like they fire at him and then I just move him like where they left a big opening so I drop him
turn
last.
1?
Yeah.
Or
I drop
turn 3 or 4.
Turn 1. I drop him last during deployment, usually. I leave a big hole mostly up near my deployment zone in line of sight, and I'll see where they've dropped, right? And if there was a big hole in their deployment zone, you know, I mean, you guys also face a lot better players than I do.
I was gonna say, like, you're not.
But like
they have the player that you're playing, but
yeah, I don't know.
You basically deploy to not have that shit happen. But that's just what I see.
You asked, I answered.
Yeah, no. If I ever play against Grey Knights, or if I'm ever like in a testing game with somebody and they want to know like how to beat them, yeah, just target the Grandmaster. Make me shunt on turn 1,
Exactly.
because then what? That's what I did to JP the other day. I was like, I'm just gonna point a salvo unit at it, and he's like, yeah, I'll shunt, and he had to move it behind cover, where he had to then move it back towards his home deployment just to get it within range of the reroll 1s bubble and the obsec bubble, and it's like, perfect. Now you've set yourself behind. You don't want to use it reactively. You want to use it proactively, such as getting him out into this shit as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And Rick, you want to use it as a mental fuck. Like if you can say, hey, he's got the shunt. Like if you target him, I can move him away. Like shit like that. So that way they don't want to shoot him. So that way you still have it in your back pocket. So if you like almost like talk them out of like shooting your fucking Grandmaster, you then still have it late game. And I've played Space Marines where they have sticky objectives and then they just leave their home objective. So he just fucking plops himself on the objective, steals the objective because he's OBSEC. And you just, took 8.
If they leave, it doesn't even matter if he's OBSEC. It's if the unit grabbing it originally has OBSEC, then it's sticky. But otherwise, it's still, there are no models on there. So like, even him having unyielding anvil doesn't matter.
Well, then it's sticky if you have that mission, which it was. So then in the beginning of my command phase, it's now
I see.
And
I thought you meant just against Space Marines, like in general. But
no, you're right though. Like it doesn't matter.
But I got you.
I always put the warlord trait on him anyway.
I've been running Hammer of Righteousness lately.
Very good with the sword.
But yeah.
Hitting on 2s, winning on 2s, reroll 1s. Great.
Yep. But Unyielding Anvil is good, except that I noticed that what I was doing with him is I was actually like doing what you were saying, where you kind of bait out or like you gate back behind their lines. It's like, well, now that Unyielding Anvil aura, he's by himself. He's running around by himself, not doing anything. So
I mean, he is doing something, because if they want to not shoot at it, that means he's gonna harass them. No, or if they do something, then he's just gonna leave.
I mean, in the specific instance of his OBSEC warlord trait, the aura isn't doing anything. Like it's
a 6-inch aura.
It's giving him OBSEC, and that's true. But like, I don't know. I've usually just had him running around the backfield being obnoxious by himself. And so he's giving himself OBSEC, but he's not like giving it to anything else. If that makes sense.
Thinking about it, if it's a 6-inch aura and you hop in the backfield, if you move up, towards the, let's say like you're playing the one side mission where like you start on the sides, there's 2 objectives and then there's one in the backfield, or there's only 2 objectives and there's one in the center. If you hop in their backfield and move up, your interceptors then can fly 15 inches, charge, kill something, hop on the objective, and now they're OBSEC because they're within 6 inches of your Grandmaster.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're OBSEC, so they basically stole that objective from them. They either took down a banner, stopped 4 points, whatever it may be. So that's 6-inch. When you combine both sides, like he's moving from the backfield, your interceptor's moving from the front field, in the Grandmaster charges, interceptors charge, minimum, that's 15 plus 9, that's 26 inches away that they can start and still get OBSEC.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, you're also assuming no terrain, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, this is why I do these streams, is because like I don't think about this shit.
Hammer of Righteousness and OBSEC.
Yeah, but in this list I'll be starting with 1 CP if I do that. And I am Prescient Brethren, but yeah. No, well, you absolutely bring up excellent points.
It's also very good that power because of our secondary, the Purify Ritual. Because let's say you don't have, your interceptors want to do it on the center objective, but they're not OBSEC, so now your fucking Grandmaster can make them OBSEC just to do Purifying Ritual, and then they fucking go charge something.
Yeah, and they can. There was that change where it's as long as you control it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can move on to an objective that's held by your opponent at first, and as long as you control it at the end of the movement phase, you can cast Purify Ritual on it, even if they still have models on there. So.
Yeah, I really like stringing out interceptors while I'm within 6, because the Grandmaster can just be kind of bumfuck somewhere else, and then you just keep one model within 6 of him, and then you just chain them out every 2 inches, and then touch something else, and then purify.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah. Because like that center objective against the Dark Angels, it wasn't really, nobody had it the first 2 or 3 turns. So I would move my interceptors on the center objective, cast Purifying Ritual, and then take them off the objective, go charge something. And then one turn he had his Terminators on there, which were OBSEC. I forget. I think no, he had a unit of the 12-inch bubble guys, the troops or whatever they're called.
The infiltrators.
Yeah, so he had them on there with the Terminators. So I moved one unit of servitors on the center objective with my interceptors, and then another interceptor tagged it. So I had more models on the objective, and the one servitor, like you said, or interceptor squad, like you said, was OBSEC strung out. You know, because my Dread Knight was in the backfield, so I had to string them out to get that 6-inch aura. But now, since the servitor's on the fucking objective, that one unit of interceptor can cast Purifying Ritual to fucking do it, and then go charge something else.
Nice.
So, dude, that OBSEC 6-inch bubble is so clutch sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't do much. Sometimes it wins you the game.
Vince the Penguin asks, can you heroic support for a second GM DK? No, you can't. So unfortunately, the way that it's written for Grey Knights is that you can only take 1 Grandmaster per Brotherhood that you bring, and then we're only allowed to bring 1 Brotherhood from the other rule. I can't remember all the names. So you're stuck with 1 Grandmaster or 1 Grandmaster Dread Knight, and you're not going to bring a Grandmaster on foot when you can bring a Grandmaster Dread Knight.
Yeah, just remember you can still bring Drago though.
But you can bring Drago, and he's a little pocket librarian and a beat stick, so he's pretty good. But no, unfortunately, the days of 5 Dread Knights are over.
10's coming out.
At least, yeah. At least in 9th, it's over.
I was so excited. I kept asking, like, can we bring 5 Dread Knights again? I like got it out of the closet, like put it on my shelf, like ready to go. And then I read it and I was like, nope, fuck.
Yep. Still can't. Unfortunately. All right, Quinn. So what list should I bring instead, huh?
All right. So hear me out.
Infantry.
Yeah, a lot of it. A lot of infantry. I think, like, real talk, if you got it, I think you humorous and you be the one to test the double tech marine with 4 Dread Knights, 30 interceptors, probably minimum 2 strikes. I think maybe we can get a little spicy and work in either like a crow or maybe a purifier squad. Because let me tell you, I'm actually feeling pretty good on purifiers and kind of on purgations as well. I really like what they have to offer, and when it comes with rhinos to move them faster or purgations, you just drop them in from the air. They feel really good.
All right. So I have up right now just because it was like already saved. And I have 140 points currently missing. So that could go to interceptors straight away. We have
140 points.
Well, I mean, this is what I just brought up like really quickly. 3 strike squads. 20 interceptors. We could easily bump that up to 25. A rhino. 4 dread knights, including the Grandmaster. 2 tech marines. 1 with foretelling of Locust, 1 without anything, and then the Mortal Wounds librarian. So if I had 5 more interceptors, I'm at 1980. I could drop a strike squad and bring my maximum of 30 interceptors. Or I could start grabbing some tech, like some acolytes. Because those are 20 points right now, and they're just like servitors, but they have better shooting. They can take hot shot las guns for free, by the way.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I could run something like here. Let me just put this on here real quick. Acolytes, 2 points. Make them Ordo Malleus. Why not? That never ever matters. So here, I'm gonna put this into paste spin again. And I'll put it into chat. So I could run something like that. Is that actually coming up on the chat?
Like which chat?
The chat for the video, because I want other people to like. No, it's not. Weird. What is going on with YouTube Studio? Here, let me put it into here. There. Bam. I'm on my other account, so now it'll show up. It should appear in chat any minute here. Or not. Oh, I bet you it's actually blanking out. It's stopping links is probably what's happening. It's like spam filter. Here, let me see if I can do something else. Because that chat pop out worked just fine. Yeah. Lame. This is what happens, guys, when we do a new chat style. 4DK 2 TM list. Does that show up? There. That one actually popped up. So like I said, it's probably the like spam filter stuff. So that's a lot of Dread Knights. They are full to the brim though. Like they have everything. Oh, I didn't give divination to one of the tech marines, so I'll fix that. They also don't have powers, but I'll fix that. So we've already found some problems here.
What happened? What did I miss?
He finally learned how to post a link.
It's funny because it's true. Yeah, so go ahead and check that out. I already fixed the missing warlord trait and the missing powers on the tech marines, but yeah. Let me know what you think.
You gonna run the infantry?
I mean, I can run whatever I want.
What kind of terrain is it?
It's player placed. It's same as LVO, basically. Exactly the same.
Okay.
Except I don't think it's magic boxes. Or no, LVO didn't have magic boxes. That's right. Never mind.
It's some fucked up terrain though.
So, I mean, the only real points I can juggle here is I can drop a rhino for some more tech, basically.
How many rhinos do you have?
1.
In my list with the armigers, I didn't have a rhino.
No, I'm not talking about that now. So this is a infantry list.
This is the double tech marine heavy infantry list.
Oh, then you definitely need a rhino.
Yeah, let me actually. So I can save changes there. Now that link should have the updated now with the actual like warlord traits and stuff. So the only flex this list really has right now is if we're sticking true to the theme of 2 tech marines, I can flex a rhino, a dread knight, or a strike squad. And that's about it. That's the only real like. So we have 25 interceptors, 3 dreads with all the fixins with swords and everything. Rhino, 3 strike squads. The Mortal Wounds, Libby, 2 Tech Marines, 1 with Foretelling of Locust, the other with Divination. We have the Grandmaster with all the fixins. And then Acolyte. So I start with 3 CP, 2 CP, with this because I have the sigil, and I have Servant of the Throne. Oh, I didn't. Never mind. I didn't have guns on the Grandmaster, so that explains why I was low on points.
Oh my
Or
god.
I was fine on points. So
You should run
I'm actually
rapiers.
40 over now.
Run rapiers. And do the advance and charge on the Grandmaster.
I tried that in that orc game, man. It didn't go well at all.
All right, but hear me out. Drop the librarian, and then we add in more aggressive units.
You want me to drop the Mortal Wounds, Libby?
Fuck it.
You could.
I mean, I could. Explain. Like, now I'm down. So now I have 55 points to play with. 20 more if I drop the Acolytes.
Well, I mean, like, did you re-put the guns back on the Grandmaster?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Okay.
He's now 220 points minus 2 CP the way he's supposed to be.
So how much CP are you currently starting with?
I'm starting with, it says 3, because the Tech Marine, because now that I got rid of the Libby, I got 1 CP back, so I'd be starting with 3 now. So I could put the sword on the Grandmaster.
Nah, I still like the hammer.
I do too.
All right, when I think about what else to put in, all I want back is the librarian. Just put the librarian back in.
It's right. He's so good.
Yeah, it's like that's. Still like. Let's see with this. I still think. Yeah, don't listen to Derek. You're still just playing prescient. I feel like if you're doing rapiers, I think you want Drago for the chapter master.
So what I could do is I could drop a sword off of one of the Dread Knights. That means I'm only over by 25. So I can drop the Acolytes and I'll only be over by 5. But then, like, where the fuck do you get 5 points from?
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah, so now I'm looking at axing the Rhino, but the Rhino is so good. Like, we just said how good the Rhino is. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you guys looking at?
If you look in the YouTube chat, he posted a link to his list.
Here, I'll actually update it on that link right now. So you open that link, it's now exactly what I have.
So hear me out. You cut the Acolytes, you need to cut 5 points. You swap 1 more sword to a hammer.
Ooh.
And pray, right?
Ooh, that's bad.
Nah, I think that would there's still a gun platform.
You think the hammer is better than the fists?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean,
especially if you're gonna reroll ones.
All right, let me update it again on the link.
Because full disclosure, I've never been man enough to run hammers on normal dreads myself. So if I can
Derek
somehow
has,
live vicariously through you.
But he had Drago to give him reroll all hits.
Yeah, Drago with the hammers are fine.
Yeah, but I don't have Drago. So I mean, that's why I'm like, are you sure? I could just run 5 under and put a hunter killer on the Rhino. Or run 5 under. I mean. The only other real shaft we can play with is dropping a strike squad, but that feels bad as well.
Okay. Other thought. We switch to rapiers. Or you stay prescient. It really doesn't matter. We probably still stay prescient. We drop the 2nd Tech Marine and the Librarian, and that's a Drago on the spot. And then you get the Chapter Master, you have the 2nd Hammer, and then every turn you can just Chapter Master and intercept a unit and missile them in. Or Chapter Master your literal anything.
I mean, I'm just thinking, like, now we have lost the Libby, which is fantastic into Dark Angels. Right?
Yeah.
Which is one of the boogeymen of the meta right now. And then running
so
not 2 Tech Marines kind of defeats the spirit of the list, which is legit if we're moving away from that, but I'm just like pointing that out.
I definitely don't think it destroys the spirit of the list, because every Grey Knight's spirit has been 4 dreads and probably a Tech Marine. So it's like,
well, I just
you still
have to save it as a new.
It's like you still have the spirit, and now we're just dropping the second Tech Marine. So it's like your shooting gets moderately worse in the sense that you lose the +1 to hit.
So, all right, drop the Tech Marine. I'll put.
Or you could drop
Tell
Acolytes and a Tech Marine for Crow. And then you get a Purifying Flame, you get a Fight on Death, you get a Fight First, you get a 6-inch Heroic.
Hold on. So Crow's 85.
Yeah. It was 90.
I know. So now I'm 5 over, and that's only if I also drop the Great Sword. Are we running on 2 different versions of the list?
I mean, probably, but just run me through what you got, and then I'll be able to remember it.
Okay, so right, we're dropping. All right, are we dropping the Librarian then?
No, you don't have to unless you want to drop or read me what you currently have before we make changes to make sure that I'm like thinking of the same things.
Okay, I have the Librarian with Foretelling of Locust.
Yeah.
I have 1 Tech Marine with a Divination. Yep. I have the Grandmaster with both guns, and the hammer, and one Warlord trait. 3 Strike Squads. I have 3 Interceptor Squads for a total of 25.
Yep.
I have 3 Dread Knights. Yep. I can put the swords on all 3 of them, and a Rhino, and I have 50 points left over.
50 points left over.
So if I drop...
Bring a Cultist unit.
Cultists? You mean Servitors? I could actually bring 4 Servitors and 2 Acolytes.
Ooh, I like more little things.
Because that would be... I'd have 4 Sword, for Servitors, Acolytes. Bring them, make them Malleus, because it's sexy that way. Yeah, that's 2,000 on the nose. Here, let me...
Yeah, give me that list.
Let me put this into Pastebin. All right. I don't know if anybody else is having fun watching this, but I'm having fun.
we're like building your tournament list.
Yeah, like with hours to go before I have to actually put it in.
Just putting together Custodes.
Praetor. There's the pop out. So here's 4DK 1 TN. That actually pasted as well.
Custodes look fucking sick.
They look sick.
There's so much detail to them.
I do like them quite a lot.
You've been doing well with them?
Oh, overall, yeah. I think I haven't played too many games. I played against Grey Knights a few times. Salamanders, Guard, Nids, Demons. Say what?
What's their weakness?
Hordes. I could easily see them struggling against Necrons fairly easily. GSC with their new resurgence, or I guess first appearance. I don't know if they've ever done anything ever. But right now, I feel like that would also be hard for them, because you just can't screen hard enough unless you're going wide bodies.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I haven't done the World Eaters matchup with them, but with how fast those things move and every attack being pretty devastating,
Mhm.
I could see that being an issue unless you just roll a lot of 4-ups. But I really like bikes. The first, like the main list I've been playing was Trajan, Shield Bike Captain, 3 units of guards, one of them sword and board, 3x3 wardens, and then 3x3 bikes.
Is it being caught by the spam filter? Because I see it in my list on the like streamers control room thing.
Let's see, servitors, acolyte. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I
don't
wanted
think
to
I've
make
ever
sure I
faced
wasn't
face
lying
lists before.
Yeah,
Is that weird?
I like this list quite a bit. I like having a lot of bodies in play.
Can you read me off the list?
Quinn, go for it.
Yeah, he's got 2 acolytes, each with a hotshot las gun and a las pistol. He's got a librarian with epitome, purifying flame, all the spicy things. Tech marine with what the hell did you give him? Foretelling.
With divination.
Oh, divination. There we go.
The librarian.
The librarian
has. Yeah, it doesn't matter whom.
So,
really.
do you want me to tell you why you don't want that on the librarian?
Because you guys always start him in deep strike like weirdos.
Correct.
Yes.
So if you do that, then you lose the ability to redeploy. So I would put that on the Tech Marine.
Okay. I don't put
why
my
do you
librarian
lose Foretelling the Locust?
because
if you put the librarian in the air, you lose the ability to redeploy because he has to start on the ground in order for you to get that redeploy.
And where does it say that?
in the description for foretelling.
Yeah.
It is after both players have deployed their armies. Select three Grey Knights core units from your army and redeploy them. If the mission uses strategic reserves, you can do that without spending OCP. Blah 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 blah. So, I guess technically it doesn't. I guess
it's the same reason that if I have Drago if I have a chapter masterable character in a vehicle, can they issue their chapter master? No, because they're not on the battlefield. It's the same with
it's the command phase, right?
Yeah, but it's
in the command phase.
Yeah, but I mean, feel free to. We can find out where to find it, but the official ruling is that it has to start on the board to get the redeploy. That'd be the
curious,
same.
Like this is just like a honest question because like where in the rule does it say it? Like is it a local RTT judge says it? Is it a grand tournament judge saying it? Is it Art of War saying it? Because Art of War also says you can't deep strike and then gate in the same turn.
Oh, you can definitely deep strike.
So what I'm saying is like they say
that
you can't when really you can. So let me know because then I'll start playing it differently. But I don't know anywhere where it says you can't do that if he's not on the table. Because same with Caldus Assassin. Caldus Assassin, you have to spend CP on a 4+, and then it makes an extra CP. It doesn't say anything about her being on the table to use it because she's not on the table. And then you can spend 2 CP to extend it to a second turn to roll 4+, stuff like that. So that's my thing is like I don't know where it would say that.
Give me one
Look
second.
up the cows. Look up Cypher as well, because Cypher has the same thing where on a 4+, you don't get your CP back, but it doesn't say anywhere on in the rules that he has to be on the table to do it. But yes, chapter master's shit. It says in command phase. Well, obviously, if you're not on the table, there is no command phase for you.
And here is the for All right, I'm gonna let you guys talk for a bit. I'm gonna go make another drink, which, if the YouTube algorithm is listening to me right now, it's apple juice. If anyone asks, it's apple juice. Be right
Hard
back, guys.
apple juice.
hard apples juice. Quinn, are you texting your GT guys? Yo, how the fuck does this work?
I am, because it's like I know that at LVO I asked and they told me no.
Oh, they're retards,
I
honestly.
know.
Like I asked them 3 questions, and they all got it wrong, and I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need your help anymore.
That's fair. I made a judge call because the dude went to go do both profiles of his combi weapon. I was like, cool, you're -1 to hit. And he's like, no. I was like, yeah. He's like, why? I was like, because it's in the combi like reminder text. And then we called the judge, and the judge was like, no, that's not how it works. I was like, can you read me combi? And then he read it out loud, and he was like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're just volunteers. They don't actually know the game. I think I did it once where it was at Nova actually. Did you go to Nova?
No, I didn't.
Nova's awesome. It's not as big as LVO, but it's still like a shit ton of people go. We called a judge over it, and I was like asking him for a measurement rolling, and I was like, all right, if I can get 6-inch charge, can I get in combat? He's like, yeah, I mean, what, combat range is half an inch. I was like, no, combat range is an inch. He's like, no, it's half. I was like,
No.
we're good. We don't need a judge anymore. I was like, all I need is to be within an inch to be in combat range. And he's like, oh my God, I was like, just walk away, please. Like stuff like that, the rule, and like there's like no argument with it, but then they don't know the rule.
That's fair.
So yeah, I'm actually curious about that ruling with the being on the board. Because if that's the case, then obviously I've been cheating for the past 2 years. Do you play Solar Watch, or what do you play for Custodes?
I do Imp's Chosen.
Is that the Mortal Wound one?
Yeah, you get a free hit or wound reroll with each unit, and then the 4-up to mortals.
Yeah, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Everybody's on this Solar Watch bullshit.
It's like I looked at Solar Watch and I thought about doing some stuff with it, but the excitement faded quickly when I realized that it just doesn't sound as good as Emperor's Chosen.
Especially into Grey Knights. Like when I play against Custodes and they don't have that,
yeah,
you're dead. But when they do have the 4-up, it's like, fuck, I can't beat them. There was a guy who was super good with Custodes. He moved, so I don't have to face him anymore. But I literally couldn't beat his Custodes no matter what I tried. And I would like tech every RTT to go into Custodes, and I just couldn't do it. Because he would change up his list every single time.
What's the current list that you're looking at running?
It's 20 Wardens.
Oof, that's a lot of Wardens.
Yeah. So it's Solar Watch or whatever. It's 20 Wardens. It's 1 3-man unit of Alaris. Yeah, Alaris, and then 2 single-man units of Alaris.
Okay.
The sister HQ chick.
The one that starts with an A.
Yeah, and then
Nice.
the sister Flamer chicks that can pregame move. A Rhino, so that way they can be in the Rhino and pregame move 6 inches. Trajan, Bike Captain, the Banner Dude for -1 to hit. And I think that's it, honestly. Yeah, Alara, Field Captain on Jet Bike, Trajan. Unit of 3 Alaris, 2 single-man units of Alaris, 20 Custodius Wardens, Vexillus, the Banner Dude, and then 5 Witch Seekers, with the Flamers and a Rhino.
Damn,
And I basically have that list already.
I like it.
So it's the solar thing. So again, I don't know anything about the Custodes. I just saw it. I was like, you know what, that looks cool. I really want to play Custodes. I think I get a lot of views on YouTube. I think you can advance in charge or something with it. With the solar flare, solar watch, whatever it's called.
I do like that Solar Watch can, was it fall back and charge?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's either like, because I know there's a strat for fall back and shoot and fall back and charge. I just don't remember, like, Solar Watch has one of them because you, like, as Emperor's Chosen, I can spend a CP to put the unit in Solar Watch, which gives them fallback and one of them, and then another CP that gives them the fallback and the whatever the other one is.
I thought I had Custodes up, but I don't. Custodes, Wahapedia. Solar Watch. And yeah, all the shield hosts and stuff, I don't know anything about, like changing the katans and everything.
Oh, okay, those aren't too terrible.
So Solar Watch, use stratagem in any phase when a warlord is destroyed by a Solar Watch unit from your army until the end of the battle. Combat attrition taken subtract. Wow, that's cool. So I kill the warlord. All combat attrition tests is -1. That's 1 CP. Here's a warlord trait. Sally Forth. At the start of your charge phase, select one Solar Watch infantry unit within 6 inches of this warlord until the end of the phase. That unit is eligible to charge in the turn in which it advanced.
Okay, so you also have advance and charge.
A free advance and charge.
That's pretty good. Yeah, because it's like that's really good with Vinatari because they already move fast, and then you're just like cool, move, and then next turn move, advance, charge.
There's a Solar Watch shield host. Trait 1. Add 1 to advance and charge rolls made for units with the trait. If the unit is a trait in Placable Vanguard ability, I guess it's the bikes. Add 7 to the move characteristic instead.
Mm.
Units of the trait eligible to declare a charge in turn in which it fell back. So that's just one of the Solar Watch shield hosts.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because there's a CP or there's a strat where you can switch a unit to a different shield host of like any kind. So it's like you could for like
And
a
back.
turn somebody into like if you run the shield bite captain, one of the cool things you can do is you can turn him into something from, was it like Shadow Keepers? So then he gets like really good character hunting effects.
Mm.
There's a once per game strat where if you kill a character, you can spend like 1 CP to give the character that got that kill a permanent trait from another shield host or one of the other.
Is this Emperor's Chosen or is this Solar Watch?
Custodes, Solar Watch. So
Okay.
with the shield host, do you get that for the rest of the game, or do you have to pick each one each turn?
So you will pick your, so like Solar Watch is the one you will have all game.
Oh shit! So okay, so you get +1 advance and charge rolls the whole game.
At all times. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
then
what's the trait too?
yeah.
You get that too?
Yeah. Yeah, so you'll get everything that the Solar Watch gives you between like their traits, any the strats. Then the only thing that'll change is your katas, and those are the cards that you'll end up like messing around with.
Uh,
And that's where it'll be like you'll have probably that you should have a Solar Watch specific card. Then for instance, you'll have like Salvo is a really good one. There's one that gives you you'll see stance 1, stance 2. When you reveal the first card and they are pre-selected, you'll pick one of the stances. And then you have that stance's ability for until your next turn. On your next turn, you will either switch to the other stance or flip to a new card.
so
But there,
you have to pre-game, like pre-game decide that?
it's almost like Necrons picking their like their things before the game. So you have to have your cards pre-selected.
Got it. Which I'm sure they're pretty much the same every game.
Yeah, generally the ones that I know I take for Imps Chosen are turn 1, you can advance and action as though you didn't advance, so I can just run and then banner.
Yes.
I don't remember what the second one of that is, so it probably doesn't really matter. Then the next one is depending on when my go turn is, I do 6s to hit auto wound against vehicles, and then the second stance of that is +1 strength against vehicles in combat. So that one's pretty good if you're like against Grey Knights or guard or anything like that. There's a really good strat that I believe is 1 CP. If the thing you are fighting has lower toughness than you, you get +1 to your attack characteristic, I believe.
I don't know if this is
So
gonna
it's
focus well, but yeah, it's not. Oh. I found some Grey Knight looking Helverin heads, and I just pulled them off of my 3D printer. But
Nice. That's what I did for mine. They all have grenades on them.
anyway,
I appreciate you trying 3 times.
hey man, first time could be a fluke. The auto focus on this camera is pretty good, but there it goes. Oh, almost. Oh, it's so close. Maybe I have to pull back a little bit, or maybe I have to zoom in a little bit. No, it's trying to focus on my face. So, anyway,
I'm also trying to focus on your face.
thanks, buddy. You guys are
Blue.
really good for my ego, and my ego wasn't exactly like hurting before.
I am nothing but a hype man until you play against me. And then the first time I hear you complain about dice rolls, I will unload on you.
Uh-oh.
Don't play a dice game.
Uh-oh.
No, it's one of my best friends that I play with. He's the co-captain of my team. Ever since I started playing any amount of games ever, it's just a known fact that I have a horseshoe up my ass somewhere. I have not great luck in life, but I have great luck in games. So every time I play against people, and this has happened with 3 or 4 people that come in all the time, that they're like, man, every time I play against you, I either feel like I'm dumb when I know I'm not, or I just roll like shit. I'm like, yeah, that's what I spend all my CP on. I give an aura of poopy rolls.
Poopy rolls. That poopy roll. That poopy roll. No, was that too old of a reference for you two?
Ooh, I mean, I feel old, but
That
now I
Tootsie
feel
Roll?
like you're older. Oh,
That
okay,
Tootsie Roll?
got it.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that was even a thing.
You're welcome. Now it's back in the forefront of your mind, harassing your brain like it should have the whole time.
I'm just gonna try and tell myself that I'm under the Mandela effect, and it still doesn't exist.
Hey man, whatever you gotta do. No judgments.
Did you guys ever play the game when you were younger?
No.
Okay.
Because yesterday, when I after I proposed to my now fiance,
Oh, that was yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, you son of a bitch! Congratulations! You didn't mention
thanks.
that. You just like
Well, yeah, no.
said
If
it
look
off
in
the cuff, like you're like, yeah, whatever.
Oh,
like yeah, we're
no. Look in the chat with us yesterday. I said that I was at my engagement dinner.
Yeah, okay, but I didn't know that that was the day that you engaged.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah.
that you got engaged.
I'll tell you how sappy I am and how I did it after this story that I think I remember what I was talking about. The hell was I talking about?
It doesn't matter.
That's fair.
No,
but I did it in an arcade.
Did you guys meet in an arcade?
Our first date, we went and had sushi and went to an arcade. And every Wednesday or Thursday, whichever one of those days we have shared off, we go to the mall every week and we get either boba or coffee, and then we stop into the arcade and see if there's any plushes we want to win. But mainly, there's like one of those little games where you hit a button, it poops out some coins, and it tries to push more coins over the edge.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
one of those, but it's got DC hero and villain cards in it, and if you collect one of everything, you get an insane amount of tickets. And she's been hunting for one card for a little over 2 years, and it was finally in the machine yesterday. And I got down on one knee just so that way, like as cards would fall out, I would just grab them and then I would swipe our play card more so that way she could have more plays. So like she didn't think anything of it, and then we finally won the card, and then I was like, "Dope! Hey, can I get something with these tickets?" And she's like, "Of course." I was like, "Cool, I know what I want," and then I proposed.
Aw, what I want is you, baby. That's awesome.
Right? Sounds fucking awesome. Did you plan that out? It has worked
No, that
perfectly.
was I actually wanted to go to the mall by myself yesterday to go pick up the ring, and she was like, "No, I'm going to the mall," and I was like, "Fuck, all right." So I was like, "I don't know how I'm gonna do this." But then when she was playing, she was like, "Hey, this might take a while if you just want to go walk around or do something." And I was like, "Dope, I'm gonna go walk around or do something." And then I went and I picked it up. And
Nice, nice.
I'm terrible at keeping like things as a surprise. So
There we
I
go.
knew that with it in my pocket, I was like, I was gonna do it next week for our anniversary anyway. But I was like, you know what? I was gonna do it here anyway, so I may as well just do it here now on this day that she's already happy that she won this thing she's been hunting for.
That's awesome, man.
Thanks.
That's super cool. Like, no joke. I'm also a giant sap, so.
Ooh, okay. It focused on the face that time. I like that.
Oh, it finally. Oh, that's right. There's a delay. I forgot. There's always a delay. Come on. Try again. Yeah, there we go. See, it's like a little night face instead of just like one of the normal faces. So, not bad. So I met my wife in World of Warcraft.
Oh my god, I love it.
We were both dating different people in the guild at the time. And then we both ended up single around the same time. But she had left the guild because our raiding guild wasn't making enough raid progression. So she left to go join another raiding guild. Well, we were like the second best on the server, so it's not like we were bad. But anyway, we had months pass. We had overtaken her guild in like raid progression. So we're running through Dalaran. I see her, I click on her, and I'm like, I want to see what kind of gear that she has to see if she's been going on all the latest raids, right? Well, instead of clicking inspect, I clicked invite. So she gets invited to my group, she joins the group, and now I'm like, well, now I have to play it cool. I have to pretend that I meant to do this. And so I'm like, hey, what's up? How you doing? And we like caught up over like an hour or two, and it was actually a really good conversation. So I asked her out. I was like, do you want to, well, actually, I asked her if she wanted to do anything, because I had just recently been like broken up with, I was in a relationship for 4 years.
Yep.
And so I was like, I like her, but I like, this is platonic. I don't want to, I'm in a bad headspace right now. So I don't want to jump from one relationship. So she's like, sure, cool. And then we go out to see her friend who was getting married, and he threw like this not bachelor party, and we had a great time, and we made out, and then we started dating. So I met her in World of Warcraft.
Damn, please tell me you guys had a WoW wedding.
No, because we'd both not been playing the game anymore by the time that we got married. But
it's not too late to go back.
That's true. I think we still have friends that play. Actually, it's also Rachel and I had gone back and we were playing Legion, which was a really great expansion, by the way. That's when I got the call on like a Sunday morning that my mom had died. So WoW has been there through all kinds of thick and thin for me.
I understand that.
Yeah. But when I decided I wanted to get married to her, I didn't. I remember exactly when too. So we went to BlizzCon. It was like BlizzCon 2008, I think. Yeah, Yeah, actually, it's anyway. I was big into StarCraft 2 at the time. It had like come out like a year earlier. I was following the competitive scene. I was playing really competitively, and she plays WoW and stuff. So we go and we meet up with a bunch of our guild members and things, and she basically just like without complaining, without bitching or moaning or anything. And it's not like I drug her, okay? Like she could have gone and done other things. She knew other people, but she wanted to spend time with me. So we went and like met a bunch of pro players. We watched the finals, which are like 9 games long. So it's like a good 5 hours of StarCraft.
Nice.
And at the end of that day, when I met day 9, and I looked at her and she was just like so happy for me, I was like, all right, I think I want to spend the rest of my life with this woman, because she never complained at all the whole time. She basically spent the entire day doing all the nerdy shit I wanted to. And she's a giant nerd too, but we have different nerdy hobbies. That's when I was like, holy shit, okay.
That is adorable. I love that story. That's I think right now for my fiance and I, I've gotten her to start watching a lot more different animes, and then she's got me back into watching wrestling again.
Like WWE?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That shit, I never really watched that, and it wasn't until I was an adult that I realized like they have storylines and stuff. I'm like,
Yep.
man, I would have gotten so into that as a kid.
Yeah, it's just an aggressive soap opera is all it is, and sometimes it just hits the spot.
And think for yourself is absolutely right. Like, I started playing WoW when I was like poor as shit. I was making like $13 an hour doing entry level IT. And so I'd like work for 8 hours and come over and play WoW for 8 hours every day. I'd play all day on weekends because I had no money to go out and no money to have hobbies other than WoW, basically. So yeah, it becomes like a part of you.
It sure does.
Like, I will always remember WoW very fondly, even though there are parts of that game that drive me absolutely batshit.
Yeah, like fishing.
The fishing tournament?
Dude,
Yeah.
fishing. Fishing can eat my ass.
The salty title is the hardest thing. Well, the salty title and the time lost proto Drake were the 2 hardest things I've ever done in my life.
Was the time
You're
lost
getting
one?
that fishing hat as a twink?
Say what?
The fishing hat, getting that as a twink?
Oh yeah.
You were godly.
Was
Especially a 19 twink.
the proto Drake? Was that three Drakes Sartherathon or Cartherathon or whatever the fuck?
That was the when Wrath came out, it had like 16 random spawn points. And it was just whoever aggroed it first, it would have the drop. But it's like it took me 6 years because I'd have the alt that I would just leave in there because they finally changed the game to where it's mounts are
it's
just
all
across all characters. So I was like, cool, I can
Yeah.
just finally leave an alt in here, log in, check these spawn points. But it's like even to this day, there's people just hard camping the area and they're super toxic. And it's like, thank Christ that that's over.
We managed to get a Zolomon group together that ran like every week, and we got really good at it. But it never dropped for me. And for like 6 weeks leading up to when Wrath hit, I think it was Wrath. It might have been Wrath whatever the next expansion was. Like everyone else in the guild had it, and then they finally run it and get it for me because I'd been like giving it up to everyone else. Finally got it. So I have the red Amani Warbear, and if I ever play,
Nice.
that's all I ride around. Like, cause
I
so
do love
proud
the
of that
Amani
fucking
Battle
thing.
Bear.
Yeah. And I played a Tauren, so it's like the size of a fucking house. You know.
Taurens have always been one of my favorite races.
Death Knight was my favorite.
Oh, Death Knights are my favorite.
Literally my favorite.
Think for yourself, coming clean. He's botting for crafting mats. They eventually made crafting a lot more accessible. Because like I remember I remember raiding in TBC and like, yeah, like you had gathering alts.
Yep.
You know, yeah, that like you'd log on 2 hours before a raid to like get enough of something to make your flasks for the night. Like, oh yeah, I can't do that shit anymore, man. I got a life. I got
I understand.
things.
I did it with RuneScape. I did it with WoW. I did it with like the Star Wars MMO for a while.
Which one? Oh no, that's right. There was only the one, but then there
Just,
was that big update that really
yeah.
changed it.
Yeah, it was back when like Old Republic first came out.
Yeah, I never got into that MMO, which is crazy because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Like,
Sound like a fake fan.
right? I think it was one of those times where like I didn't have a very good computer at the time. Or maybe it was because I couldn't afford 2 subscriptions. Like it was WoW or that game, and I chose WoW over it. I don't remember. It's been a long time now.
I understand.
All right, so heads together. Guns are on. Gentlemen, I have to glue a bunch of body panels to sticks. I have these wine corks with baling wire on them. This is what I glue like body panels to, and then I can airbrush them easily.
Oh, nice.
I'll just glue it on like this, and I'll just airbrush them. So, my building for the night is nearly complete. That doesn't mean we have to stop streaming. I'm just announcing
it's like
to
12 o'clock here.
the world. Oh, that's true. It is way later for you guys than it is for me, isn't it?
Only a little.
Well, way later for him.
I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? No, okay. Almost 11.
It's almost midnight for Derek here. Is that when you're gonna call it, sir? You're gonna call it at midnight or what?
I'm gonna call it when my fiance says, "Are you coming to bed?"
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So we still haven't figured out what list I'm playing, and I do have to actually submit that in less than 3 hours, or just over 3 hours.
I like the list that we just talked about.
The 4
infantry heavy one.
DK 1 TM.
Yep.
25 interceptors, 1 rhino.
Yep.
I think this is more or less what I ran at the RTT that I won. So
let me
no,
ask
it's
you-
not, because I had paladins in that list because AOC was a thing and paladins were good.
Fair.
Now they're trash.
That's so bad.
Well, they're good, but they're not worth 45 points apiece.
Well, let me ask you a question. How many times do you play with a list more than one time?
I try to play at least 2 to 3 games with every single list that I make. Because
I think you should increase those numbers.
Yeah,
I think you should do between 3 to 5.
No, you're absolutely right. It's just like, you know, I play a game a month. At least that's what I've been averaging since the start of the year. I really want to turn that around here soon. But that's what it is right now.
Club?
Huh?
How far is your gaming club?
It's just down in Portland. It's maybe, if the traffic isn't shit, it's like 20 minutes away.
So what time are their game nights?
It's basically whenever we want access to the clubhouse. So that's actually a bonus, is where the RTTs usually are, we have access to all the time. So we can run up to like 8 tables at a time if we want to.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I guess you just got to find a day for the game day. Like ours is Monday night, so I get a game every single Monday. And then Tuesdays are like up in the air if anybody's free. You want to come to my place to play.
Yeah.
And then you got your weekends.
Yeah, my problem is my wife works nights and not on a set schedule. So like sometimes she has Mondays off, and then that's date night. Sometimes she has like, you know, Friday off, and that's date night. It just kind of like depends. And I do have other hobbies too. Like I'm in two different D&D groups every week.
Yeah, that's a whole
Yeah.
other
What
story.
about playing on Tabletop Simulator?
That's exactly what I was gonna just like transition into. Is that there are in my gaming club there are a ton of people that play on TTS, and I have it up. I have it running. I just need to be like, I'm bored and I have 3 hours free. Who's available, right? Like I have to actually have that
Well, I mean, yeah,
conversation.
but you can also try and pre-plan those. It's much easier to pre-plan being at your house to play than going out to play.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have a whole garage and I've run 2 tables in there before. But yeah, it is finding an opponent too. Most everybody lives pretty close to me too. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making up excuses, huh?
I mean,
Maybe
if you ever want to play like more different people on TTS, you can always just kind of hop in with like my group of people.
Oh yeah,
And then you have another thought tank, and then you get in games against random stuff.
Yeah, that's absolutely true too. Stuff that I haven't ever gotten in games too. That'd be nice. Is that your is this your pitch to join your
No, not at all. My pitch is much better.
Much sexier.
Yeah, we talk money, we talk hookers, we talk
Oh,
all kinds of stuff.
oh, booze, drugs,
Oh, of course.
driving fast?
Yeah, it's standard with every contract.
Oh boy, it's like being in my mid-20s all over again.
That's actually that's the name of the team. We're in our mid-20s again.
Oh my god. Now I gotta ask, how old are you?
I'll be 32 this year.
Okay, all right. I'll be 39 this year.
You don't look a day over 29.
Thanks, bud.
It's the beard.
I really actually do mean that. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, dude, anytime.
It's also the fact that I have hair. Like, and
That is true.
not to toot my own horn, but I have luscious hair, and I'm almost 40.
Yes.
And I had a friend. The day he turned 22, I swear to God, just all his hair just fell out. Like he woke up with just no hair. So
That sounds horrible.
I'm counting myself lucky. All right, so infantry dread knight list then.
I like it.
What does chat think? What does chat think?
I mean, you don't have to paint your armor guards, which is great. So.
Well, like I work from home tomorrow, and there are very few meetings and stuff, and like I don't know. I'll probably have some time to run into the garage for 20 minutes here and there, and like do some priming, do some base coating, and then I'll I'll do some trim and the weapons and call it good.
Or
it won't be up to my complete standards, but it'll be done.
Or you could use that time and play a game on TTS and get a rep in with the army.
You son of a bitch.
I know.
I hate that you're right.
I come with the heat.
Yeah, but the problem is I need somebody who can play for like 30 minutes and then bounce. And then like an hour later play for 30 minutes. Are you that guy, Quinn?
It's I mean, honestly, I work tomorrow, so if we're just doing 30-minute intervals, I could probably fuck with that.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
Let's
I mean,
do
it's
it
like
then.
I was gonna say because it's like I couldn't dedicate a whole 3 hours or 4 hours to a game, but it's like if we're just playing like play go chess, yeah, I can do that all day.
Well, maybe we can have like Derek swing in and just make fun of us because you work from home, right, Derek?
Yeah, it's great.
What do you do?
Loan officer.
Okay.
I
Finance.
sell second mortgages.
Nice.
I I work from home 3 days a week, but not all days a week, which makes me sad.
That's honestly the only reason I do the YouTube is because of that. Just being able to like edit videos and do whatever you gotta do, talk to the peeps.
I lost the stubber.
I would probably do the same thing if I worked from home.
Yeah, like you have
nothing
else to do. Might as well do something.
Yeah, because it's like right when lockdown hit in 2020, that's when I started streaming for the first time, and I just did that all day, and I was like, this is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, same. I started with Raid Shadow Legends, the mobile game.
Nice.
And I got up to like 3,000 subscribers.
Damn.
And then started 40K again. I was like, you know what? Fuck Raid. I'm just doing this because this is so much cooler.
I actually forgot that when I was trying to make our little description for this video. I forgot that you had like a Raid Shadow Legends. So I looked up Dirtbag Gaming. And I'm like,
which is my Raid channel.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? There's no fucking Warhammer stuff in here. What is this? And then I remembered, oh yeah, he had 2 channels. And then I remembered it was 40K Dirtbags.
Yeah.
Raid Shadow Legends is in fact an actual game. It's not just advertisements. Yeah. It surprised me as well.
It's a really good game. A lot of people fucking play it. So that game, I was doing videos like almost every single day, but then people would pay you to go into their account and basically do shit for their account. And this one guy paid me $300 to go on and do like 4 different things, which took me maybe 4 or 5 hours. And I was like, babe, I literally just made $100 an hour on a fucking video game.
Well, that's pretty hot.
Yeah.
That is pretty hot.
It just got so much doing both. Like
that's on fleek, as you kids say.
I do so much with 40K, and I'm not really passionate in a raid anymore. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going straight into 40K.
I absolutely loved the lack of response there. That was the best part.
I would rather not hurt your feelings.
It's okay. That's very based of you.
I do what I can.
Bam, for real. Something bussin'.
All right, now you're pushing it.
I can't even tell how I'm pushing it. Like if you agree with me that sounds silly, or if
I'll leave it open for interpretation.
Language changes. That's how language works. Although what does drive me crazy, so I'm a software engineer. Drives me crazy is all the product owner speak, like synergy and 30,000 foot overview. And also somewhere in the last few years, the word request was replaced with ask. Like, what is the ask here?
Huh.
And I'm like, no. We have a word for that already, and it's called request. What is the request here? What do you need from us? How can we help? Those are also ways to say, what is the ask here? Please don't ever say that.
So it's like I wouldn't think like anything of it other than I would just be like, oh, that's the weird way to say a thing.
Right.
But
it keeps going.
Huh.
They keep doing it. Never ends.
Kind of weird.
Oh, God, what is the, oh no. Gotta look this up now. What was that fucking word?
Glenn, are you putting anything together or are you just chilling?
Me? Oh no, I've been playing League.
You've been playing in League while talking to us? Wow.
He's been fucking dominating in League.
Yeah, he's like, what is it? Platinum League or some shit, just owning fools.
Diamond.
I don't remember. I played a little bit of League, but it was a game I could never give as much time to that I needed to get good.
That's understandable.
So what I would do is I would do silly shit, like I would go Lulu Timo bottom with my friend, and we just get drunk and spam our laugh.
You look like a bottom.
And thanks, man. And sometimes we would like get fed and own pools. It was great. We had one team that was against us, and they actually started begging us in chat to stop laughing. They're like, please stop. Oh god, because you're in there for at least 20 minutes listening to two, what is it, of those little dudes laughing. Hilarious.
No, we have our monthly RTT this Saturday. So I'll be setting up the store for that tomorrow. Really excited to see what people bring.
Are you playing in it?
No. Sometimes, like, if for some reason we end up like somebody drops, so we need a list, then I'll just like hop in. But normally we have people on a waiting list.
Yeah. Same with us. Our store, like after COVID, it just got booked out every single month, and we had to start a waiting list.
Oh wow,
and
that's
we don't
awesome.
even have enough space.
Ooh, our
It's
list.
like we're fitting like 22 to 24 people in every RTT.
Damn.
That's a good place to be, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I keep telling the manager, like, dude, you gotta get more fucking tables. Like, we can't have 8 people on a waiting list. Like, that's fucking bullshit.
that's kind of how we are. We were capping it at 20s, and then after the last one, we had 2 people on the wait list, and we're like, fuck it, let's just add another table somewhere.
Yeah.
And then we increased the cap to 24, and now we're at 24, and I think we have a couple of people on the wait list, so I might try and add in some more tables. But we had list submissions due tonight, so I can go through and read off the factions that people have at least listed.
Nice.
Looks like we got Guard, Admech, Eldari, Orcs, Tau, Chaos Demons, another Guard, Salamanders, Custodes, Imp Knights, Nurgle Demons, Nids, Votan, another Orcs, Templars, another Votan, Death Guard, another Nids. Then there's probably, I think that's another Guard, Dark Angels, Thousand Suns, and Grey Knights.
I was gonna say, where the fuck are the Grey Knights at? Like, they would dominate your meta. I guess besides the guard are fucking scary.
Yeah. Cool.
The guard the guard are exactly what we don't have the tools to deal with. We don't have high strength, high damage shooting. Like, it just doesn't exist.
They have like 8 shots from every tank.
Yep. And it's
and
all
3
strength.
damage each, AP 3.
Yep. And not that it ever matters, but blast, usually.
Yeah.
Because they all take fucking... Yeah. So it's like, is it strength 9 overcharge or strength 8 overcharge?
Doesn't matter. It's our 4-up involved.
Yeah, true. It's like, I get the matchups that I don't want to see as Grey Knights as well. Yeah, I don't really want to see Guard.
Custodes.
I don't mind the Custodes matchup, to be honest with you. I've had so many reps into them that it's like all I do, and I told JP this the other day, I YOLO turn 1 every single time. I put all 4 dreads in position to shoot at whatever the threat is. It's probably normally a bike unit. Normally, I want to eliminate 1.5 bike units on my first turn of being able to shoot. And it's I do whatever I have to do with Empiric Amplification, Empiric Lodestone, Vortex of Doom, +1 strength, +1 AP, reroll hits and wounds of 1s. I will just go literal batshit balls to the wall to make sure that I get something accomplished that slows them down so they can't just free roll me with like their super good defensiveness and like their salvo launchers and stuff.
Are you
it's
telling
gross.
me to do the thing that I've always wanted to be doing anyway? Just being too goddamn aggressive?
Oh yeah, you lay it all on the line.
I really should play like World Eaters or something, man. Or Orcs.
No,
Just
I mean
like-
it's I wholeheartedly believe that you as a Grey Knight player or whoever runs any army ever, I feel like you should know exactly what your army has the potential to do if you choose to just press go on turn 1. You need to know if it's possible, you need to know how well it went, you need to know how to play from behind, you need to know how to play from ahead. You need to know how to play every angle ever. So it's like there are so many games where I'm not going into the game to win. I'm going into the game to see how my army does in this type of scenario. So there might be a time where it's like I won't say that I'm choosing to play incorrectly, but a lot of the times what I will do is I'll tell my opponent I'm going to deploy my entire army. Please feel free to deploy around me in whatever fashion you want. I don't care. And then I'll do that. And then I'll be like, do you want first or second? And then I'll just put myself at a disadvantage just to see, because chances are that scenario is going to happen. Why not just see how it plays out? Because you're just there to learn. You're not there for literally any other reason other than that, to have fun and learn. So that's what I would do, because I thoroughly enjoy doing that in my training sessions.
I wish I had the amount of reps to make that a thing, but that's a whole other
I was
story.
gonna say like you don't say that unless you're really good with your army.
Well, he also owns a game store.
That's also true.
It is true. I do. I
You
get
want them
to.
to definitely have fun playing.
I get to play where I work. Yeah, so it's like normally like in our Discord, every day somebody would be like, "Hey, anybody up for a game?" And if nobody ever responds, I'm like, "Hey, if worst case nobody responds, come on in and I'll play." Because then I just also get like
awesome.
a more different customer interaction, so that way it just like helps keep promoting the store. So it's kind of just like a self-funding kind of thing.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Makes a lot of sense to me. Keep them coming back for more.
True.
It really is one of the things that has impressed me the most about like Warhammer is the general community. It's like, you hear all the horror stories. You hear about how it's all a bunch of Nazis, shit like that.
All right. Well, I haven't heard those things.
Really?
I haven't heard
man.
Nazis before.
I had no idea.
Really? Oh man, yeah. Like I had friends who went to like a tournament and this guy slams down an army that's all like painted like the fucking SS with like lightning bolts and everything.
Damn.
And my friend's like, I'm not gonna play you. Like, I don't want to give you a game because you're a piece of shit. And the guy got a win. Like, my friend had to effectively like concede, but he's like, look, I didn't let him, like, he didn't get to play me. He didn't like get to kill the single unit. I know a lot of that shit is changing, because I don't know if you guys are following what was happening in, was it Spain?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh fuck, man. I was in Scotland when this story broke. So this would have been early last year. Anyway, there was somebody playing at a tournament in Spain, and their name in Battlescribe was like something Carpenter. And they had on a jacket, and there are photos that is like the coat is like covered in Nazi patches.
Good lord.
Like not swastikas, it's more dog whistly than that. It's like but the guy was like, yeah. And the organizers refused to throw the guy out. And then I guess now that guy is one of the organizers of that is running one of the GW Opens, or at least was as of a few weeks ago. But he got called out, so I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not.
Boy, for GW's hope or for sake, I hope not, because that would they'd probably have a 9-0 amount of backlash.
Yeah, no thanks, man. No fucking Nazis.
They're trying to do like Amazon shit. Like if that came out, that'd be terrible.
Do Amazon shit? What do you mean?
Henry Cavill making a 40K on Amazon.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Real talk, I was really
hoping
hoping he would make an appearance at LVO out of nowhere.
That would have been insane. God, that would.
I mean,
that
I'm
nuts.
not gay, but Henry Cavill is Henry Cavill, so you know.
Oh yeah, no.
He's the king of the nerds.
You submit your list yet?
I have not actually. I really should.
He's going Armigers.
I'm finishing up. I don't know. I have
He's
too many
literally
options.
building him right now. He's gonna paint him tomorrow. He's gonna run Armigers.
No, the thing is, once I submit the list, like it's over. I can't resubmit my list, as you all know.
Yeah. So you just gotta go ahead and rip off that band-aid and submit the list.
All right, you big baby. All right, we're doing the Armigers, right?
I mean, no. But if you want to do the Armigers, I know you're excited to do the Armigers.
All right, so servitors,
they
acolytes,
bro. Like, come on.
They hit on 2s, auto wound on 6s.
Auto wound on 6s, hit on 2s. Fucking come on, let's go.
They auto wound on 2s and they hit on 6s.
Yeah, like 100%. Happens every time.
So servitors, acolytes, Libby, 1 Tech Marine, Grandmaster Dread Knight with all of the like fixins, including the Great Hammer, right?
Yes.
3 strike squads, all with swords.
Yep.
Ooh, mine actually on here have halberds, which is not good because I don't actually have those models. Swords. Yeah, hold on. This is important, by the way, for those of you that don't run tournaments. You're supposed to have every model repped appropriately. So,
that's a soft rule.
As long as you tell your opponent ahead of time, you're good.
Strikes, all swords, got it. Interceptor, 25 of them, all with halberds. I think I might actually have to have 1 squad with swords. Because I don't think I have that many with halberds.
All mine were weaponized with halberds, and then during Nephilim, I just told people like they're all swords.
I have,
and now I can tell them they're all halberds because they're better.
I have like 30 or 40 interceptors, and then I have like 10 more with the falchions, which obviously no one runs, but I have a bunch of them. I just have to go.
What's a falchion?
Exactly.
Oof.
I was really hoping they'd get the lightning claw treatment.
That would have made them that would have made them potentially playable, but I really like 2 damage.
If you make each one 3 points though, like lightning claws still are, like you'd have to use them strategically, which is a cool thing. Anyway,
bro, we already have reroll wounds. Like
not on interceptors, you fucking don't.
yeah, but like we already have literally a spell that rerolls wounds. Why would they give us fucking?
Yeah, but that's only on strike squads.
Then strike squads powers don't fucking matter.
It's also on Dread Knights.
They don't get Hammerhand for
You're right. It is also on Dread Knights. No, it does matter because then you get the same thing with being able to take a different weapon that does like 2 damage, for instance. I guess if falchions had an extra attack each, that'd be nice.
Yes, that'd be cool.
They don't have to have the reroll wounds necessarily, but the fact that you get one more attack for having 2 falchions is kind of. Anyway,
It doesn't make sense. It should be 2 attacks.
3 dreads with everything. Great sword, side cannon, silencers, teleporter, and 1 rhino. Falchions are AP2. So they're just like lightning claws, except not at all like lightning claws.
So much worse than a sword or a halberd.
Yeah.
All right.
When you
I'm gonna
better options, it sucks.
All right. I guess we'll probably no. Yeah, I'll just say they're all halberds. It'll be fine. No one will care.
Yeah, just tell people what they are at a time.
Yeah. No one will care.
Nobody cares.
Interceptor squad with halberds. Done. Okay. Swords, halberds. Dread Knight right now. All right, here we go. Copying this. Going to best coast pairings.
Good.
My events.
Sound like the guy from Star Wars.
Good. Yes.
Do it.
All right. Faction. I gotta scroll way up to find Grey Knights. Good lord.
Derek, you doing Adepticon at all?
I'm doing my GTs this year just because of the wedding.
Are
going to be Atlantic City Open and Nova.
Okay.
You going to any of those?
No, I'll go to Adepticon and then the Kansas City Open.
All my buddies are going to Adepticon, the Cuddle Buddies.
Oh, nice.
So if you see them, you'd be like, yo, I know Dirtbags.
All right, list update successful.
Proud of you.
View list. Events lists are set to hidden right now. Anyway, I did submit the Dread Knight and Infantry all Grey Knights lists, so ran out, built Howard for nothing. I talked loud enough that my dog woke up and he's like, "Why are you yelling?" Ivor, come here.
Do we know when the next FAQ is?
There he is.
Dude, we were waiting for the guard FAQ. They released it and it fucking didn't do anything. Like I played the guys that teleport and do all the mortal wounds.
Yeah.
And the Casterkin?
Fucking bullshit.
The Casterkin, they only average like 14 mortal wounds, dude. What's your problem?
Well, because you spread it out over 666, so it's like one squad does 6 mortal wounds, one squad does 6 mortal wounds, one squad does 6 mortal wounds. So it's like you shoot 3 different units, AP2, no cover save, and then 6 mortal wounds on top of that.
One of my buddies plays Iron Warriors, and he has a Disco Lord that he has like a relic, a warlord trait, and then like a war gear option. So it's 3 different sources of mortal wounds. And he can do something like 12 to 14 a turn.
Yeah.
6 and it's capped at 6, but only per source. So you can technically do like 18 mortal wounds if he goes hot, but he does like 12 on average or whatever. If he charges, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what the combo is, but it's really good.
Flames of Spite and then the Demon Blade black. It does mortal wounds on 6s. And then if he wounds you, it does a mortal wound. So if he wounds you 6 times, that's 6 mortal wounds. And if he does 6s, that's another mortal wound on top of that. So it's like 2 mortal wounds each 6 that he does to wound.
Yeah. It's something like that.
And then he gets to reroll wounds as well. So you're just fishing for those 6s.
Damn, that's pretty good.
He gets +1 to wound as well on the charge.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good combo.
I'm excited to see if any. Well, I'm actually not really, but I'm excited to see if any other Space Marine factions become like good, like Ultramarines or Imp Fist.
My Deathwatch got done dirty, dudes. My Deathwatch got done dirty.
You know that one Space Marine where it's like all the guys are just flipping people off, and then they're like yellow, and they're like angry Marines?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
exactly
thinking
what
that's
they're
going to be
called.
my next army. Is I'm just going to make a whole army of just pissed off Space Marines.
Let me know, because when Power Fists got really good again when they were free, I found some STLs of that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's a giant Power Fist flipping off the... flipping you off, and it's great. I printed like 1 per squad or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be my next army. It's Custodes, and then it's gonna be angry Marines.
But so Deathwatch, because they have so much war gear, right? They weren't like, well, we can't make them all free. So they made our Deathwatch veterans base 27 points. They were base 20 points before. So we actually got increased by 7 points a model. And these are like, if you want to make the best, most versatile kill team in the Deathwatch arsenal, you have to bring 5 of these per kill team. So that's a tax of what? 7 times 5. So what's that? 40 points per kill team.
Yeah.
And yes, you can have a free Combi Milton. Yes, you can have a free Storm Shield and stuff. But still, it is so many extra points. Then we lost our Army of Renown, which was amazing and super fun. It wasn't so incredibly game breaking that it was bonkers, but it was really, really fun. And it felt like Deathwatch. And then to top it all off, because our codex specifically states that we do our own bullshit with doctrines, we don't get the new doctrine changes. So like Deathwatch got to always choose what doctrine that they were in, they didn't have to follow the, was it like Devastator, Tactical, and then blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
They could choose. So like I could choose Assault on turn 1 and burn an Assault, and then on turn 2 I could go Devastator and get all my heavy weapons in range and then blast you. But I can only do that once a game.
Okay.
That change wasn't reverted. So now every other Space Marine chapter can just stay in Devastator or stay in Tactical or whatever if they want. But not Deathwatch. We still only get 1 Devastator. And well, the straw that broke the camel's back is the secondary we kept was our worst one. We lost the one for Deathwatch for killing aliens, which is kind of Deathwatch whole shtick. We kept the one called Cull Order, which is you work with your opponent. Starting with your opponent, they choose a battlefield role. Then you pick, and then they pick. So it's 3 times total. With your opponent picking twice, you have to kill every single model of that battlefield role, and then you score 5 points. So if you're my opponent, you immediately pick your hardest to kill group of people, and then you pick your second hardest to kill group. And the worst part, if you go into knights, they're only Lords of War, right? You don't get 15 points if you kill them all, you only get 5, because it's only 1 battlefield roll. So Yeah, we kept our worst secondary. We didn't get the
Yikes.
doctrine changes, and that's why Deathwatch's win rate right now is what? 37%? They are literally the worst army in the game right now. They're worse than Imp Fists, if I remember right.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah. It was not great what they did to my poor Deathwatch. Now, you can run nothing but Primaris and get around some of that, but you have to play twice as hard to score 70% of the points as everyone else that you're playing, basically. It's bad.
One of my buddies plays Salamanders, and that's what he queued up for this weekend. And I actually think that army it feels really strong. He just runs you just have like 2 or 3 units of aggressors with double flamers on each hand, so he could just he starts with like 5 CP, so then he insta goes up to 6. You wait until turn 2 when your flame weapons are +1 to wound. Then you just run them at something, and then you spend 2 CP for max shots, so you're putting 60 flamer shots with +1 to wound into something.
Yeah.
And then you still have units of eradicators, land speeders with multi-meltas. He plays a character dreadnought with Briarth. That thing's really cool. It's got a 2d6 flamer at 622. And I was like, Jesus, that flamer, it just hits so hard. Yeah, 622 flamer.
Holy
it hits
moly.
so hard.
That flamer fucks.
We've played a couple of games. Let's see. We played a game with me on Custodes, and he got me, I think he got me like 88 to 80, something like that. And I was like, whew, it was so tough, because it's like, if I don't roll 4s, then my things are literally just dead.
That's how I feel about Dread Knights.
And then I think I played him.
They're fine if you just roll 4s.
Right. I played him with the Grey Knights list that had the no dreads, and I had the purgations and the purifiers in it. And it didn't even dawn on me that his land speeders are just really fast. So I didn't have anyone closer to my librarian or crow when they were on my behind units on turn 1. So he just moved his land speeders around. So look out, sir. They were the closest thing. And I was like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
And then he just Crow survived at 1, and then he nuked the librarian off the field. But it was my what do you want to call it? The defensive librarian, because it had sanctuary, gate, and that stuff. But it's like not having gate or sanctuary for a whole game made it very tough to do anything I wanted to do.
Yeah. So that reminds me, Deathwatch also, when the book came out, so they're all veterans, right?
Yep.
So it specifically states we cannot take any Devastator squads. We also cannot take scouts, which makes sense, fine, whatever, like no one uses them anyway. And then we can't take attack bikes. We can take 1 attack bike in a 3-man bike squad, but we cannot take an attack bike squad. So like that, our access to Melta is effectively like, do you want to take the Super Mario Kart truck ATV thing? God, I hate that model.
Fair.
And then like land speeders can take like 1 multi-Melta. They're really cheap now. That's actually not bad, but like our access to Melta is actually super low. And right now I feel like when you see, like we were saying when the show started, when you think about like Ravenwing, like holy shit, that's a lot of Melta.
Yep.
Or plasma,
so many
because they can
Melta.
also take plasma.
All right, gents, I'm gonna head to bed.
All
All right,
dude.
man.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for swinging by.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always up for this shit. So
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
definitely excited for next time.
Yeah, man. Well,
dude, you gotta post. Let me know how that 20 goes.
yeah, I'll
Because
do.
I'm on Night Lord, so
Yeah, if I
completely
can't,
different.
if I can, tomorrow I want to do like a, this is my list and this is my general idea of how I'm going to play it kind of video. And then I'll do a tournament recap one like I always do. So.
Nice.
Comment, Corey. I got you.
All right, man.
All right, gents.
Later,
Later.
dude.
Laters. Gotta hide the dirt bag. Oh no! Discord.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Oh, I think if I just go back to my normal interview view, that should fix it. Ha! Of course not. Now you're just missing. That's okay. I'll fix it.
Oh, well.
Just looks a little unprofessional. Where were we? We were in Three Dudes and a Stormraven walking to a bar. Nope. Well, it's fine. I'll fix it here instead. Anyway, what's up, dude? How you doing?
Not bad, not bad.
How are your league games going?
Overall good. A couple were hit or miss there for a minute, but I think we brought it back.
Cool, man. Cool. What do you mean?
I like to play a lot of Garen because all he does is spin around.
Spin to
and it's a lot-
win.
Yep, a lot of fun.
Yeah. I remember
but
a
I
little
pretty-
bit about League, but not a lot.
Yeah, I pretty much just play top lane and my secondary. I'll either flex jungle or mid, but top lane I pretty much just play Garen and Ornn, if you know who that is.
I do not. I haven't played in years, man.
Ornn
I think
is.
I've played since I don't think I've played since I got married.
Oh, that's
And
fair.
those aren't related, by the way. It's just that's a general timeline I'm aware of. I've been married for 10 years, so.
Ooh. What? Oh, I mean, how's that
Well,
going?
I guess
You
not.
guys got kids yet?
Not yet. No.
Any plans for them?
Yep.
Nice.
We're actively trying right now. So
Oh,
there you go.
congrats.
Thanks. By the way, and
yeah.
this isn't to change the subject. I've been meaning to actually say this for the last like 20 minutes. If any of you guys have any comments, questions, whatever, we're up for it, and we're talking about video games. We're talking about Warhammer, obviously, like whatever. Throw them in chat. Do it. That's why we do these live.
True.
Anyway, what was your next question?
I was
my
gonna
friend?
ask, what are you aiming for?
I mean, like
Like boy or girl?
gender?
Yeah.
We don't care.
That's fair.
I want a boy. Rachel wants a girl, but we both aren't really like, you know. It's not like I'm gonna be mad for 20 years, kind of, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's, you know, I think she leans 51% girl and I lean 51% boy. So it's a preference, but not like we'll be mad if it goes the other way.
No,
The scion of my house was not born this day.
My
You
fiance
know?
and I are the same way. If our first one is a boy, we're content stopping there. If the first one is a girl, we'll give it one more try.
Yeah, she did promise me that if it's a girl, we'll try one more time. But also, we're not parents, so we may find
fair.
out that this baby thing's not that great. Maybe we're one and done.
Ooh, that is a very real possibility.
I don't know, man. Like, I think that's a realistic way of looking at it, because who knows?
That is true. You'll never know until you do it.
Exactly. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So when's your wedding?
We set the date for October 3rd of 25.
Ah, okay. So you and Derek are going to be October marriages, huh?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm a November, so
Okay. That's not too far off.
we did that because it was literally, I'm using that term not the way that you kids do this day. But literally we did it in November because it was half the price of doing it in September, because it was a summer price versus
Oh, that
a
makes
winter price, because like I think it's I don't know, the venue we use, it was like I don't remember, May through September was summer pricing or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, I asked her if I could pick the date, and she's like, maybe, but probably not. And I was like, she's like, what is it? And I was like, I would like October 3rd. She's like, why? I was like, I can't tell you yet. She's like, well, that doesn't help your case. And then she finally got it. I got her to start watching my favorite anime, Full Metal Alchemist, and in that show, October 3rd is the day you don't want to forget. And then she then followed up with, no, that's dumb. And I was like, just think on it. So then she took her birthday and my birthday and split the exact difference in days, and that day fell on October 3rd. And she's like, all right, fine.
Nice. I have the think for yourself is like my son is 2. We're one and done. I have tried to watch Full Metal Alchemist 3 times.
Oh.
I always get just past the Rose episode. Like, maybe an episode or 2 past that.
Okay.
And then I just, it's not even that, it's not like I hate it. It's not like I'm like, oh, this is awful, and I want to, like, throw it away. It's just something always comes up. Something. It's another hobby I pick up. It's a trip we go on. It's work gets really busy. You know, like, every time. The only anime I've been able to watch all the way through was Cowboy Bebop.
I mean, that's also a good one.
No, it is very good, but it's just like, oh, and I mean, like, I've watched some movies like Akira and Ghost in the Shell. Like, I've watched those too, but like, as for like serial animes, I haven't been able, if I'm even pronouncing that right, I don't know. But I haven't been able to watch Full Metal Alchemist. The premise of the show is amazing, and I like it. I like all the like fight scenes and stuff. But when the main character does this like "don't call me short" thing, and he freaks out, and there's a big like teardrop, and he like waves his arms and stuff. That stuff is so obnoxious to me.
Really?
Like, oh yeah, I cannot put it into words how much that shit bothers me. Like, if they just cut that stuff out, I could probably watch it without a problem. But like, I don't know what it is, man.
If you watch enough of it, like the content of the show will definitely make up for it.
But like, you know, Cowboy Bebop had a lot of adult and fun themes. Like, it had humor, it had all of it, and they never resorted to like the big teardrop or this like the big eyes or the like scrunchy faces. You know, it was much more realistic. But I don't know. Maybe I just need to get the fuck over myself too. That might be a thing.
No, I mean, there's all kinds of like different types. So it's like it might not be it might just not be your type, and there's nothing wrong with that. You'll just then want to find things that are of that similar type, and then see if there's any of those that you like.
Yeah, but like to your point, the storyline was good enough that like it didn't make me want to stop watching it, but it was definitely a check mark in the do not like column, if that makes sense, you know?
Sure.
But it's not enough to like overwrite me watching the show. I should try again for the 4th time or whatever. Think for yourself is saying, I hear the Titan one was the best. I think they mean Attack on Titan.
Probably.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan is really good.
My brother watched that, and what's funny is in this D&D campaign that I'm running right now, it's a totally homebrew world that I've been building in my head for like a fucking decade, and I've been like keeping notes. And there are all these bastion cities where like civilization lost this major war, and it was a god's war, and they all retreated to like these 7 bastion cities, which are very heavily like fortified, and there are like tall walls and battlements, and all that stuff. And the wilds are wild. Like, it's full of horrible creatures. Nobody wanders out there. And it's no big giants and monsters. You know, it's stuff like Attack on Titan. But one of my little players is like, I'm getting a real Attack on Titan vibes here, man. I'm like, well, I haven't watched it. So, cool.
It is really good. It's one of the darker ones, and a lot of people like that. It's also one of the more gory ones.
I really like adult themes in my stories, so.
I mean, then I would definitely recommend giving this one a try. And there's actually not a whole lot of content, so if you end up loving it, well, you get to feel the pain of the rest of us. There's only so much of it, but if you end up not liking it, well, you're not missing out on too many episodes.
Nice. You can just play through. Yeah.
All right. I think I'm probably gonna head off for the night. I do work in the morning.
That makes sense. It is only 10 here, so I'll be up for another hour or so. But I think I will also call it because we've been going for just over 3 hours. Thank you everybody for joining us. It was a blast. We talked about a whole lot of crazy stuff. We'll probably do 3 dudes walking into a Stormraven in the future because I think we all like this. It was nice to get some hobbying done. I got 2 of them. 2 built Helverins.
Nice.
Well,
easy night. Now you just gotta
really,
prime
because I have a bunch of parts, but you know, whatever.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Are you gonna magnetize them at all?
It doesn't look like I need to, because the guns pull apart, and the guns on top can just plop in.
Fair.
But
That
no,
works.
probably won't magnetize these guys because they're either Helverins or what, War Dogs?
Yeah.
No,
Helverins or Armigers.
No, they're both Armigers, but there's the Helverins are the ones with the guns. The War Glaives are the ones with the because War Dogs are the
chaos ones.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we did it.
We got there. All right, man. Yeah. Thank you again, everybody. And we'll talk to you later.
Peace
out.